Oh, how can I make it so I can hear my music? Hello? 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 Oh, let's see. Oh, invite. There you are, Tottie. Hey, Tottie.
So sorry.
Add to stream. Hey.
Hello, how are you?
I am fabulous. You can't hear my music, huh?
No, I cannot.
Oh, I was like checking to see if you could hear that. Yeah, I used to be in I fancied myself a singer at one time. But so I was thinking, since I don't own the rights to any of the music I like, I may as well just play the music I made. Holla. But I can't get it out of my ears and into the stream. You know what I'm saying? For those of you who are watching, this is our premiere, our what's it
Okay.
called? Our flagship, our this is the first time that we will be going live via StreamYard together, Toddy Vision and myself, Larger Curves here. We really appreciate you guys for coming in. You know, Toddy and I met online,
Yes,
right?
we sure did. I'm sorry, I had to get the sound together. I had YouTube playing and the stream live, but now I'm in here. But
Was I echoing on your side?
yes, I was like, what is going on?
Am I still echoing?
No, ma'am, I fixed it.
Okay. Yeah. I had to turn mine down too because I have my phone here for just because it's just faster to do stuff
Right.
on my phone. Let me put the do not disturb on actually. Um, but yeah, so you and we met online. I had reached out to you and I was like, oh, do you want to do a thing? And we were
Hmm.
like, yeah, sure. And that was, what month was that? I don't
Girl,
even
I
know.
don't know, but it's been a minute. We've been in it for a while. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's like well, for me, I just started December 2020. So it
Hmm.
had to have been like either December or January or whatever that you and I,
Yes, that sounds about right. One of those, one or the other.
yeah, definitely. So I was thinking tonight that I posted in the description for this that we were going to be having an open mic plus discussing the hottest of topics, which include basketball wives for me. It's Latoya Ali and Adam for me. It's who else? Uh, I guess Real Housewives of Atlanta, a little piece. We could do
Hmm.
something. I don't really know. What do you want to talk about, Toddy?
I want to talk about it all as well. I want to talk about Basketball Wives, LA, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Married to Medicine. Love and Marriage Huntsville is extra. We can go there, but I can go without it too. Let's
Right.
talk about it all. We can even talk about these little Nas X shoes, okay?
OMG. We need some Jesus on those shoes. Like, I'm
Yes,
just like, I heard they got a Jesus pair though,
I
speaking of
saw
those
those. I
shoes.
was just gonna say that they're like the holy water something.
I don't believe that's real blood in those shoes. I don't
I
believe
don't
it for a
know.
second. I don't. I, yeah, I
There's
don't
no
think so.
telling. I never heard of them if there are.
Well, it's just like, bodily fluids. It doesn't seem like
Ugh.
it would be something that's allowable. You know what I mean?
Especially blood during COVID. Are we?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. What is that the new thing? Like you'll get shoes with blood in it to throw at the zombies so you can get away?
I
Like
guess
what
so. I mean, if it ever came down to it, they might help you. They might save a life
Yeah.
in that situation.
Yeah. I was going to try to import some pictures while we're talking about this topics. Can
Okay.
you still see me on the screen?
Let me walk around and see, girl. I got my little headset on. I'm all in the freezer trying to find my vodka. I'm like, what I do with my vodka? Yes, I still see you on the screen.
Okay, good. Because I'm like perusing for some screenshots of OG. I could just take a picture of her freaking
Take your
who's
time.
it's.
Take your time. I'll go ahead and keep the convo going.
Yeah, go
Let's
ahead, girl.
while you get that together, I will continue to talk about Lil Nas X because I actually love him. I love him so much. Um, but he definitely was fully aware, and he even said this that he has been in the works of putting this stuff out for the past 9 months. So he was fully aware that we were going to act this way, and he is prepared for us to react. But I do notice that it seems like a lot of people, even like some of the LGBTQ plus community, is just not wanting to take on this battle with him. However, at
Yeah.
the same time, the shoes sold out like that, the snap of a finger. In the snap of a finger, they were gone. So, I have to be honest. When I saw the shoe is a nice looking shoe. It's very neat. I could have went without the drop of real blood, but I get that they're
Hmm.
trying to make them so unique that there's nothing else like them, and they definitely nailed that one. But the whole 666 thing, it's a little risky.
Yeah, definitely. I am not that sacrilegious. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up going to parochial schools,
Mm.
and
Girl, I don't even know
so
what that is. I said, mm-hmm. Tell me what it is.
I went to all private schools, like all private schools going up, like all
Okay.
either Catholic, Lutheran, Christian. It was half, and all of them had something to do with the religion, and they
Mm-hmm.
all had everything to do with rules and dogma and
Dogma.
adherent, yeah, dogma, like, strict religious guideline type
Okay.
deals, like, you know, and so that's how I grew up. And they used to have me so brainwashed. I felt brainwashed by the time I left. By the time
I
I got to an
bet.
age where I wasn't around that, so it wasn't normal to me,
Mm,
I realized I was like brainwashed. They would have me, okay, picture this. I'm at a church
mm-hmm.
where it had a school, and the
Okay.
school's curriculum Some of it was transferable, but I did end up having to go to like summer school my senior year because of some BS. Because,
Mm,
oh, yeah, their PE wasn't the same as the other, or something like that.
right.
Anyway, so they had me all twisted up. And there was a time in my life where I really felt like I was going to spontaneously combust if I did
Mm,
anything that resembled what they referred to as a sin, which was basically everything.
yes.
It was like everything was a sin. You're going to burn in hell. Everything's a sin. And I was like, oh my goodness. When I first found out that I wasn't going to burn, is at least spontaneously combust right there,
Yes.
I went a little crazy. That's part of why I have a theory on why those Catholic schoolgirls always go so crazy. It's that theory.
Yeah.
When you find out that you're not going to burn immediately,
Hmm.
you're like,
Yep.
well, what else won't I burn for? What
Yeah.
else won't I burn for? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But
I do.
that's just more life not allowing life. You know what I mean? I think we're all here to experience stuff, just like the stuff we're here to talk about. So I got this first picture that, excuse me, that I believe okay, save a copy. Okay, I got that. So we got OG. Now, who in the Basketball Wives do you
Now,
want?
I'm going to be honest. OG is the only one I like. I liked OG and I liked the girl, the Asian lady she was hanging out with last season. Um,
Cece.
huh?
Cece Gutierrez, I believe.
Yes, Cece. I liked her. Um, whew, that's it. I've always watched the show, but I've never liked Evelyn. I like Jennifer to a certain extent. I do not like Shawnee. I really think that they made a mistake by trying to bring the Miami cast in and replace the LA girls. I really stopped having. I liked Tammy, but I'm just rocking with OG right now. I just don't like. It's too many hateful people to me. I do not like that whole let's be hateful, let's gang type of stuff. Like if you can't do it on first of all, I don't like the fact that it's obviously this whole click vibe, but you can't help but have that vibe when your boss is on the show. That's why I think she should be off of the show. They're gonna have to do whatever they can to make you feel better. They have to kiss your butt. They can't be themselves. They have to make sure whatever beef they have is okay with you because you're on the show. And my thing is, you don't add anything to the show, so get off and just make your money from it. But that's just me. So, who do you like on the show? Girl, did you hit mute?
Yeah, I did.
It's
Okay.
okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. My headphones are that good, like I can't hear anything, right?
I
So
got some good stuff too, sis.
so I'm like, I can't even hear myself in here. It sounds like I'm in like in an echo chamber. Anyway, so Basketball Wives, I was here for Tammy Woman, of course.
Hmm.
I was here for OG, like I said. I thought I was here for Jackie, but she's always been like a slippery one.
I hate that.
She might have some Pisces rising or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, she really came off in those recordings as somebody who I do not want to be around. Now let me see what does this button do?
See, I
Share.
never got around or over that whole situation with her and her daughter. And mostly because it speaks to some of my childhood trauma. So I was just like, I've never been here for her after that. But that was just one of the situations where the we can say abuser or the adult gets away with everything. I was surprised by how easily she was able to sweep that under the rug and just move forward. It was like it never happened.
Yeah.
And the most eye-opening part of it for me was the fact that the daughter that she did not treat poorly is the one who came and shared all that on TV. And I honestly think that the fact that she ended up having a child, and of course at that time you need your mother's support even more, is probably, how they moved past it. But that was my first, honestly, that was really it for me. But the moment they start making these colorist accusations, that was the if Jackie had any type of sense, she would have just stayed out of it.
She should have. She should have totally just stayed out of it. Those,
Yes.
it was, I mean, I saw it the whole time as a viewer. So
Me
we're
too.
talking about, yeah, let's just start with the basketball wives. I can't make the picture come up. I guess I'll learn that stuff later. Oh, look, a banner.
I can't
There's a
find my vodka.
banner. Oh, darn.
I don't
There's
know
a
what this is about.
band, a logo, a overlay, a background,
But
upload a background.
so yeah, if I was her,
Mm.
I just wouldn't have said anything. She has a lot of nerve, like trying to bond people over colorist marks, and you have a whole book out about you speaking on how much of a colorist you were to your own child. But it is what it is. But I think when OG made that statement, or I didn't actually catch the statement, but I heard them refer to it when she made a
Yeah.
statement saying she thought that Jackie and um what's her name, Jennifer, had kind of been colorist too. I
Right.
kind of feel like that's where it comes from. If your own daughter has a book out about you being a colorist, of course you don't see a big deal about it.
Yeah. Well, and that's not even what like she said that wasn't even like she wasn't even like saying that particularly. She said
Hmm.
there was like issues within the group. She didn't
Right.
particularly say Jackie. That was Jackie's own, defense mechanism because of her
Mm.
guilt, because of Takari's book about her and that whole blow up, you
Hmm.
know. It's like we don't see that she just got on TV and coddled all these strangers,
Yes.
but the story of how she treats her kids is out there floating around is valid. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really disturbing like to listen to those tapes also to I was like, are they under a spell that they literally just said, "Oh, gee, we know what you're talking about. Everything's good. We understand." And then Evelyn called and said, "Come to the house. You guys come to the house right now." And they went over
Hmm.
there and came back, and everybody was like, you need to say three little words."
Tacky. That is so trifling. I mean, it's clear that what's really going on is, girl, save our jobs, squash this, because Shawnee's getting fed up, and that's just another reason why she shouldn't be on the show. But
Yeah.
to me, that's what it was like. Okay, help us save our jobs and just suck it up and bite the bullet. And no, and my thing is, if they really wanted to bite the bullet and keep the topic from rising up again, then they would have just at least came to her and said, we didn't mean to make you feel that way. It was
Right.
not intentional. Can we just bury the hatchet and we'll be sure to do better from now on? But I mean, you didn't, not you, but she didn't care enough to do that. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, that is so tacky. Really, y'all can stop airing the show because we didn't want to see y'all anyways.
Yeah. And it came off as so utterly fake. Like the reason I need a reason as a viewer of why you, as not only a castmate, a long-standing castmate, why your entire interaction with this woman, OG, has always been like your hand on your hip, you're ready to go, foot tapping, come on now. Like she's annoying you somehow. Like just
Who,
being there is
Shawnee?
annoying you. Yes, for Shawnee to treat her like that. And OG even said that she's never really had a one-on-one interaction with Shawnee in going on what, 3 years?
If you ask me, and of course I don't know them, but if I were to take a guess, I would really say that it's the fact that OG is not going to pretend or buckle for you, you actually
Hmm.
have to be decent towards her. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that Shawnee likes that. I think she would just choose to stay away from her than to actually humble herself and take another route. Whereas everyone else, even, I know Tammy has a friendship with Shawnee, but even Tammy, um, I felt like their friendship was kind of struggling a bit too for the same reason,
Yes,
before she got off of there. I just don't think that Shawnee is able to cope with people who are not willing to bow down.
that's true. That's true. You know, I forgot even that Lamar Odom's wife was on
Oh
the show at
yeah.
all. I totally forgot she was.
I
I
was like, I
don't
hate to
even know
say
what her
this.
name was.
I don't know her name either, but I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways.
Hmm.
But I honestly got kind of tired of the whole I'm gonna get on this show and bash my ex. Girl, we already know Lamar Odom been struggling with drugs
Yeah,
and all of that. Like, come on, sis,
yes.
get on
Like she
here and
didn't
get
even
your
have
coin.
to.
Yeah,
She didn't even have to give us an explanation beyond saying my ex is Lamar
Lamar
Odom.
Odom.
That's what she could have stopped there.
Right.
We've seen the rest, lady. We've
Yes.
seen, you
Like,
know,
save your breath, calm down.
yeah. But she seemed like a nice lady trying to
Mhm.
like do her thing, you know.
Yeah,
But she's I wonder what else she had going on. Speaking of having going on, Basketball Wives LA this season had 7 episodes of them trying to make OG change her mind.
that is so stupid.
Not
Is it not
one.
stupid?
How many ladies? Let's go through the ladies. Evelyn, did she have a storyline? No.
No,
Shawnee, did she have a storyline? No.
no.
Jackie, did she have a storyline?
Mm-mm.
Well, she pretended like she had a storyline, but she was really a double agent. Jennifer, did she have a storyline? She tried. I saw that her Notorious Queens that she executive produced
Mhm.
is out and it looks fabulous. So shout out to Jennifer Williams on doing that project. But the project that she talked about on Basketball Wives, I thought had more to do with how men dupe her, but I guess the story switched to women that dupe people and like do credit scams and all
Mm.
kind of notorious women. So anyways, Kristen, what does she have going on? Where is her husband and baby? I don't know. Malaysia,
Mm-mm.
how she come from all the way from freaking Atlanta in the middle of a pandemic to be in a house and interrogate OG? You know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
Lamar Odom's wife, she tried to have a storyline, but unfortunately, it's 2021 and not 20, let's even give her 2012, 2014,
yeah,
when somebody might have cared if Lamar Odom was being a suitable father or not.
yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not even being mean. I'm just saying realistically, like, when was the last time that, you know what I'm saying, that influence was, you just said, lady, that he's getting ready to go to college. Like,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know, like just you should
and
have had
then
to go ahead.
something in me kind of, it might be because I'm a single mom,
Uh-huh.
but something in me is always like, okay, and what did you have going on? Like, what do you have? Like, this person didn't
Yeah.
do what they were supposed to do, but what did you know what I mean? And not to say she didn't do anything, but we've
Right.
been knew he was a drug addict for years. So what have you done anything to prepare for him not having the money that you're,
Access to
you
all
know?
the trust or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, she was very short-lived on the show, so I can't even get a good idea of her situation.
So do you want to speculate with me at
Yeah,
all
I do.
on okay. So last season in 2019 was the last time we saw the ladies, right? Because
Right.
then we had the thing and now we got to see them.
Hmm.
So in 2019, when OG said that she felt like Evelyn did racist things towards her and that Shawnee was a colorist, when she said that, she got sued. right? By
Right.
by Evelyn.
Hmm.
And Evelyn,
That is so disgusting, by the way.
it
But
is so disgusting because Evelyn was also called a racist by Cece, who we mentioned earlier.
yeah, because when she called her Ling Ling or something,
Yeah, called her Ling Ling and was called a racist by Cece. What did she do to Cece?
I don't know what she do.
Apologized.
She did
Yeah, publicly and everything.
what?
Yeah. So it's like, to me, it
Mhm.
proves OG's point that you just sued the dark one for saying it in the same season,
Mhm.
during the same time, and everything.
Yeah, I think they're ignorant. I really do think they're ignorant. And then I think they're stubborn. I think they were so ignorant to what was really going on. I think they've went through middle school and high school and become adults, always having this idea that darker is not as attractive and damn sure ain't as attractive if it has African features. I feel like
Right.
that's the mindset that they've had and it became second nature. I remember when she first saw OG, she said she was cracking jokes on her boobs because they were
Yeah.
real, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that it was very much second nature for her to treat her that way, and she
And
didn't
get
even
away
really.
with it.
Yeah, she didn't really
Yeah.
realize it.
No.
And but my thing is now she does, and she's just fighting to not have to own it instead of being a grown woman and
Right.
acknowledging what you did was wrong. But OG's biggest issue is that they're using the darker castmates to make it
Yeah.
seem like, see, we don't treat them this way.
Oh
But
my
that's
God, that got on my nerves. The whole, we're
yes,
of the same melanated palette.
yeah.
Kristen, no,
It's
you're
the
not.
whole. It's like the
No,
whole. I have a black friend.
yeah. Oh my God. For Kristen to pretend like she and OG share the
Or
same
anything alike.
foundation
God.
is ridiculous. And she
And
should have saved that. I wonder who prepped her with that. That doesn't even sound like something she would say. The whole melanated palette thing. What the get the kick rocks with that, Kristen. That was so disgusting. And then Malaysia was all, "What did I do? What did I do?" Look it up, Google it, bitch. That's what I'm saying. I Googled
yes,
it. They need to Google it.
Malaysia's issue for me, my issue with Malaysia is Malaysia was a very interesting person to watch on the show. She was authentic and everything, but then you had um remember you had her and Brandy, and then Shawnee came on the show. Shawnee's calling the shot. She fires Brandy, so now Malaysia realizes I need to get in line before I lose my coin. You know what I mean? So I feel
Yeah.
like if it was not for Shawnee, then we would have a more authentic reaction from people. But because people have to consider their boss, quote unquote, when they're making a decision or saying something, we're just not getting the real deal from them. Um, that's how I feel on Malaysia and Kristen, whatever her name is. And I also feel like that too is a bit of colorism because I feel like they have had to pretend to be someone they're not to be accepted by Shawnee instead of being able to just be themselves. But we're never going to get anything real from them because Shawnee's on the show and she is
Exactly.
at the opposite end of it. So,
Right. I agree. But that suit I was talking about, when she tried to sue OG for calling her a racist, she said she
mhm.
lost some endorsement. She suffered some loss, right? This is what Evelyn said, is that she suffered some loss. And so that's why she was suing OG.
It's because it was obvious for us to see even before OG said anything. I think OG actually got it from us, the viewers, because we were calling it out like,
Yeah.
what is this? What's going on?
What's
They were
going on?
obviously treating her differently because of how she looks.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And she was unable to serve OG.
What?
Yes. And you know how you have to serve the person for them to have to show up in court for
Hmm.
you to try to get some money off of them for anything, right? Which was part of her suit, supposedly, was that she was also trying to hit her with some, obviously it was monetary
Uh huh.
because she made her lose money. So she
Wow.
couldn't find OG to sue her. Fast forward to this season. Huh. Set up maybe that you got a whole other house
Mhm.
and forced OG to come. People in my comments on the videos I dropped earlier with the entire Receiptathon 2-part series that I dropped with OG's behind the scenes, real time recording audio of things that was left edited out in an effort to have her appear to be difficult to work with, an angry black woman, aggressive, mean, selfish, only think about herself. Those are the same thing, obviously. But
Yeah.
anyway, they didn't have the address to sue her. So then here comes Jackie. Jackie talks her. She told us. Jackie talked her into coming on the show. She didn't want to come. She
Mm.
said in another interview that it was because they contractually made her. You got a
Wow.
contract, lady. And so they make her come. I can understand Evelyn, who put this horrible suit against OG for telling the truth. I want to get into that, but the setup started right there for me.
Yeah.
Right there, the setup to me as a viewer that's been seeing all of this play out, I saw the setup coming from a mile away from right there. And then to have Jackie Christie carry it out. I was saying earlier, my grandma, she would say, mm,
Okay.
mm. Jackie Christie had me going, mm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She just left me with no words.
Yeah, she was
No
scramming
word.
for that check. It to me, I felt like she was trying to talk in code, but she was really like, you heard her when she said, a lot of us have put a lot into this, years into this. Like, girl,
Yeah, she's all, I have 9 years in this. And then she turned around and said, it doesn't really matter to me, but these other girls, please,
the way you are
please.
acting, sis, please try again.
Oh, that's tasty. That's delicious. Um, So yeah, so she didn't have the address to serve her, and that to me is why they even had production was trying to help her, Evelyn, get OG served because they're complicit in a way. I don't know what's going on with the suit or who's suable or what, that it feels like as a viewer, VH1's production and editing of this footage this way
Hmm.
would leave them responsible for hurting OG's reputation like this. Because as a viewer, they wanted me to have these thoughts about OG. They wanted me
Yeah,
to do it. And
yeah.
had it not been for my own state of mind and logical thinking, and knowing that physical violence from Evelyn Lozada,
Hmm.
physical, jumping over tables, jumping over golf carts, jumping over tables again, throwing wine bottles, snatching people, scrambling across the room. I mean, physical, actual snatching of a human, putting your hands into the personal space of another human, like on that other show we talked about, Potomac,
Yeah,
where you don't have a right to do that. You
right.
just don't. And that's on period. You know what I'm saying? My son hates I say that, but that's on period. You don't have a right to put your hands on people. And when you do, apologize at least.
Yeah, that's
At least
true.
apologize.
She hasn't
So
apologized for anything. She's been ratchet
nothing.
as hell all on TV for years
Mm-hmm.
and thought it was
Mm-hmm.
cute to be this spicy
Mm-hmm.
Latina who put your hands on
Who's
people
aggressive?
until you came across Tammy, on the other hand. You know what
Did you
I'm
hear
saying?
about the movement
What movement?
to refer to everybody across the board the way you refer to Black women?
Mm,
So they would call OG aggressive. They wouldn't give her a frilly name like Spicy. No,
right?
Evelyn's aggro, steroid popping ass, in my opinion. That was roid rage ish. That was
Yeah.
roid rage ish when she was smacking on
Hmm.
her monkey that day. That was very roid rage ish.
She was heated. She was heated.
She was very heated. And
To the
I
point to where she, let's not skip over this, reached out to her abuser, and then a few months later And a few months later, you're on Instagram live crying over him, yet you reached out to him just to confirm whether he was ever interested in OG or not. That is, I can't deal. And then, Tammy really took a risk saying this, but Tammy said that Evelyn was fighting him that day. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
She said Evelyn was fighting him that day.
Right. And she said, tell the truth. You told me that you were fighting him that day.
Hmm.
She did. You're right about it. And that's another thing. You see how she moves. How
Yep.
is she the same woman that tells Tammy you're a non-MFN factor
Hmm.
because I slept with your dude, but that then gonna turn around and act like OG is a full-on slut for returning a text that Chad Ochocinco sent her or a DM that
Yeah.
was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The dacity, the caucasity, the Karenescity. She's a
Yeah. It was too
Karenescity. That
much.
was very Karenescity.
True. That's very true. Um, I don't know what Evelyn be having going on, but she is not finna worry me. But I know Tammy said she was like, if the cameras didn't show up, that's you wouldn't even have reported that. And I was like, ooh, Tammy, she took it there too. She took it. People be scared to go there, but she took it there. But yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, it's clear as day that OG's experience was definitely colorism. I've always called it featureism. um, I know that it's both her skin tone and her feature. I didn't know that featureism was included in colorism, but I do know that featureism is something on its own.
Correct.
So
Yeah. I
but I
think I agree. I concur.
yeah. You are
Go ahead.
automatically deemed to be more unattractive if you have bigger features. I think I talked about this on one of my videos on my page. But for lips, we can talk about lips for a second. Now they're this whole trending thing, and so many black girls grew up getting drugged through the mud over the size of their lips
Right. Right.
you know so our same with our butts. It's
Yeah.
like our body parts have to come into style, and when we talk about big body features,
Right.
Africans tend to have them.
Correct. Yeah. And people from that region like Asians and Africans. Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. I keep getting all over the place, but she couldn't serve her, so she I think, had them force OG to come and thus be able to serve her. But still,
Mhm.
since it wasn't her house, they couldn't serve her still. And that's that whole thing. Did you hear about how
Wait, they tried
Jennifer?
to serve her?
Yes, I believe. And that's that whole thing why Jennifer Williams mentioned, oh, you rent your house. We know you rent your house. Remember that little scene about that? Why was that
Mm.
relevant? Why are you worried
Who
about
rents
where
their
I'm
house?
living?
OG?
Yes. OG
So.
had production, supposedly. This is what Jennifer's explanation was from OG during that exchange, from what I recall. She
Mhm.
said something like she had production rent her dwelling during taping. If you're going to make me tape, then this is what I want you to do to protect my privacy. Because
Mhm.
I'm having the troll sisters call me. I'm
Yeah.
having crazy try to serve me for BS, putting my heart pressure up. You know what I'm saying? No, she really put that in her response. I heard was
Okay.
that she really put in her response that when she heard that she got served for calling her a racist, she said it made her heart like do something.
Yeah.
OG said that. And I would have made mine too, and my blood
Yeah.
boil, and vice versa. So I think that that was part of the setup, and I think that Jackie befriended OG, in my opinion. Wait just a second.
Hello.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that Jackie, in my opinion, um, befriended OG. This is all what I'm seeing. You know how that scene in CSI where the people walk into the crime scene room, and their expertise is able to see with their laser vision, like the party that was there,
Yeah.
the essence of the party that was there, and the direction of the whatever traveled through the room, and you know what I mean, and the spray
Mhm.
was over there. So this is what I'm doing. Okay, that's my scene right now. So I'm
Okay.
walking into the scene, and Jackie was befriending OG in an effort to get information to double agent back to Evelyn and Shawnee. And that's part of why she was able to flip so entirely so quickly, was because
Yeah.
it was never her primary directive to befriend OG, or else it would have been harder to betray OG. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Um, I mean, I will say that I knew she had a motive from the beginning, especially when she invited her to that house. I said to myself, girl, I don't know what you think you finna get from Jackie going on this trip. And as soon as they got there, it was so clear to me that Jackie brought you here to try to get you to kick it with those ladies. She lied when she said it wasn't gonna be no drama. She brought you here for the drama,
Right,
and was hurt that you chose not to partake in it.
right.
But
Well, you know that she knows those sisters. She knew the sisters from beforehand.
who did, Jackie?
OG,
Oh, oh yeah. Wait, what sisters? The girls who
the
came on the trip?
the troll twins. I call them
Uh-uh.
the troll twins because they're like human trolls, like in on script IRL. They were like trolling IRL. They were,
Mm, uh-uh.
in my opinion. Oh wow, you have a live chat. I enjoyed your commentary. Oh, awesome! Thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh,
Shout out to um. I
21 Janja. 21 Janja.
Yes.
Hey, and Z Boards Anderson style. What's
Yes. What's
up?
good? Yeah, we're just here doing a live chat about, we were talking about OG's receipts and the receiptathon that I dropped earlier with was better than the season on Basketball Wives. Anyway, that's what we were talking about. Hi, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
But
Ah,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, so uh-oh. I forgot where I was. I got all excited. I
Well, you were
read
telling
something.
me about the chicas, the trolls, the
Okay,
troll
yeah. So
sisters.
the two troll sisters had previously reached out to OG and said that they were referred by so and so, or there was a friend of so and attempted to have OG put them on the show, to which OG politely declined, but was like, I'll just give you some pointers in general about this reality world game kind of thing.
Mm.
But as far as putting you on like friends of me, no, that's not happening.
Okay, so I think I heard the recording revealing what she really said. I saw what they said she said on the show, and then
Right.
there was a recording of what the conversation really consisted of.
Correct. And that was part of that real conversation.
I'm realizing that, like, as I watch all of these shows, it's so much about the bandwagon. People
Correct.
are so quick to try to jump on the
Yeah.
bandwagon to collect these checks.
Yeah, and it's really disgusting. I think that these black women across many franchises
Hmm.
are literally willing to do anything for a check against these other women.
Yeah, I don't like
You know,
that.
I don't see the white ladies going through all of these hoops and hurdles with this much tear down. I
See,
see
I
a
don't
lot of
watch them.
implosions. I see more implosions over there. You don't watch those shows?
No. I just
Oh,
watch Us. I'm not even gonna lie. I think I told you that when they were talking about inviting us on the Andy's show. I do not watch those shows. I just watch Us. But
yeah, I totally watch them for contrast.
yeah.
Yeah, and like I totally grew up like around ladies like that, and people
Mhm.
like who think like, yeah, and yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I I watch them for a lot of contrast, and I'm glad I do, because these ladies do not have to go through all of this. If they are screwing pirates on their vacations, that's what they do in New York. Okay,
Yeah.
They
Okay.
screw stranger pirates
like on
that like
Sex in the City. Did you see that
yes.
episode?
No, I didn't know. Was there a pirate episode on Sex and the
Yeah.
City?
Back in the day, like the pirates would come to New York, on break, because by the water or whatever,
Yeah.
and Samantha and them linked up with them, and had a little nice time.
Well, Luann and Sonia Morgan, that one season, were supposedly have hooked up with the same dude who they looked like Johnny Depp, the pirate, look-alike. And Luann had him first, and then Sonia had him the next night. And they laughed about it.
What?
Yeah, it was stuff like that going on. And they laughed about it. And they didn't even trip. Nobody
Uh-huh.
slut shamed them. So for
So
Real
the girl.
Housewives of Atlanta,
Okay, let's talk about the girls. Let's do
yes,
it.
yes. So
So
the
I'm gonna
real,
bring
go
this one
ahead.
in.
Go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm still looking for my vodka. What happened? How did I lose a bottle of vodka? Anyways, so I love Real Housewives of Atlanta. I am a super fan. I have watched every single season, every single episode, and this was the most disappointing season I've ever watched. And not just because of the slut shaming, I think that we see that sometimes, but because of the lack of content. And I noticed that our shows are really struggling because of COVID, probably, but this is just sad. So, I am a person who does not support slut shaming in any way at all whatsoever, but I do understand that, what they're saying, like, okay, well, Portia did it on a trip where we're all here. So if she didn't want us to be talked about, she wouldn't did it around us. I do think that was a flub on Portia's side. However, I mean, how long are they going to try to drag it out? To me, I've never liked Kenya. I think people always forget that the first season of Kenya and Portia meeting each other, Portia spent that season trying to get on Kenya's good side, and Kenya just had a complete distaste for her. And it's all available to us now, so you can go back and watch it. She did not like Portia, and just like she didn't like Tanya. And I really think that some people don't like people who are too happy. They think that you're fake if you smile too much and you're too bubbly. And I really feel like that is her biggest issue with them. They're just too happy for her. But so I just don't like the fact that even when someone is not giving you anything back, not trying to argue with you, they're ignoring everything you're doing, you're still just constantly trying to attack them. At that point, it goes from being maybe an entertaining beef to you just looking like a bully. And nobody likes to just sit up and watch somebody get bullied. I definitely don't. I feel like at the end of the day, if she wanted to bring it up, okay, you brought it up, but you drug it out too long. And then, you involved other people. She wants to now put it off on Portia and say, Portia is not Portia. She wants to put it off on other people and say, I'm not bringing it up anymore. Other people are talking about it, but you brought it up too much in the first place. And then you went around trying to convince people to get on the bandwagon with you. You went to Candy, trying to get her to come out and say something. The first thing you did when you and Marlo made up was try to get her to say something about it. You went around trying to get everybody on the bandwagon even after you left the trip. So to me, it's just too much. If you weren't willing to get out there and stand in it by yourself, then you shouldn't have said anything. If you need to get all these people to do it with you, then maybe you should have left it where it was. But for me, I just feel like she should have took the hint from everybody because nobody else there wanted to go there with her. She should have took the hint from jump and just said, "We're gonna leave it alone." Yes, 21 Janja, Kenya is awful. I don't get her. And my thing is what people seem to be overlooking is the fact that Portia has ammunition against Kenya right now because Kenya's fake friend, Latoya, came to her and told her all of Kenya's personal business with Mark.
Yeah,
And
when she
she,
was kissing on her.
Yeah, no, it was after the kiss, but yeah, she told Portia the whole group everything. Yeah, he's trying to get alimony from her and all of that, and Portia
Yeah,
not one time has brought it up to you know
the group or anything. I
to anyone.
agree. I think the slut shaming is no good. No good is the slut shaming.
Mm-mm.
Um, I don't think I actually feel like a lot of women are repressed sexually.
I do
And
too.
I feel like we put slut shaming in our own minds based
Yes,
off of this society, when in fact it's the oldest job for a reason. I
yes,
mean, I don't know if you ever saw the show Harlots. If you haven't,
I did.
Hulu, great show, love
Hmm.
it. But that's basically like that was the job to have. That's why a lot of people think all they need to do is like be cute. You know what I'm saying? Is
Hmm.
and get that, because it's there's nothing wrong with it. It's healthy. It's an outlet. I
I
look
mean,
at this. Can't lie,
Portia
I'm
is
tired of them
single.
talking about their butts and twerking. I hope this isn't slut shaming. Oh no, that's not slut shaming at all. I'm tired of it too.
Where'd you see that at? I don't see that comment.
I just put it on the screen, I think. Can you
Girl,
see it?
I don't see nothing but.
It's under our it should be under I see it under our
Oh,
thing.
can't lie. I'm tired of them talking about their butts and twerking. I see. I don't see it on my laptop though.
Yeah, it's delayed in some places. Like I don't see it on my phone sometimes and then I see it and then I add it. But
Okay, let me fix this.
so yeah, the slut shaming isn't good. I'm also we'll come back to that here. I'm gonna write that down, the twerking. That's a whole other part of this whole black woman representation. Think about what the black woman's power is right now. We just elected the president, right? That's what
Yes.
they say, right? They
Mhm.
said we did that. So, what better way to undermine our power than to not only have us go through all of this internal struggle, slut shame ourselves, this whole twerking thing, I think that's part of that if I want to go real deep on that. But I'll come back to that,
See, I
okay,
have a totally
Sandra?
different perception of that. My thing is, and I say this because every time when you look at our motherland dances in Africa, you
Yeah,
see a different type of twerk. I feel like twerking is a more Americanized version of our rooted dances.
right.
Um, and I think that it's more so frowned upon because we are in America in white culture, which really doesn't exist, is um, the one who's setting the standards, telling us what's appropriate and what's not. But whenever you get online and you watch all of these blacks in Africa and in Jamaica, they're learning from a childhood. They're learning these dances that involve their hips and their butts. And it's not deemed sexual. So I think that the problem is that people consider twerking to be sexual, but really it's just an Americanized version of our roots.
Yeah, I believe that twerking is first chakra work. Like I'm with you on that. And in this regard, on this show, on this platform, where we watch for glamour, we watch for lifestyle, not lifestyle. I
Hmm.
said that earlier in a in a what's it called? In a I was in somebody's live and I said lifestyle. Yeah, it's called a lifestyle.
Yeah,
We don't watch for the lifestyle. We watch for the lifestyle.
yeah,
And we're getting so many lies. I told you earlier, I feel like I'm getting talked out of my panties. I don't
yeah,
like it. I don't like it, you know? I
yeah,
want to I don't want you to end up in handcuffs because you wanted to show me a Birkin back. You know what I
yeah.
mean? That's not real to me. That's a lifestyle. I don't need it? Don't make me complicit. Don't say you did that for me you know what I mean? Don't do that.
Yeah,
Anyway, so I wanted to come back to that, but she never liked Portia. Latoya is really loose in the lips. We heard that from Adam today. Uh, and
well, see,
we,
I didn't listen to everything he said, but I did make sure that I pulled up their whole the messages he sent her.
uh-huh.
I have them pulled up if you want me to read them, but
Okay, yeah, we can go through that. Just a second.
okay.
Um, it is the bullying for me on every level.
Hmm.
It's like Kenya is like a maniacal genius. Every time I see her, her
Evil.
eyes to me go and
That is
like
the vibe. Yes.
if she had a mustache, she would be like massaging the very tips of the pointy ends, and she'd be trying to think of some maniacal evil plan to like, I don't want to really say it, but she might boil some, I don't know.
Mm.
Anyway, anyway, you don't want to do that show. I for what was the name of that show? Anyway. So, anyway, speaking of too happy, Ken, you're right. She does not like seeing people too happy.
She doesn't.
Phaedra looked too happy for her, so she had to come put her butt on Apollo.
And that's my whole thing.
So
For her to be slut shaming, she sure has had an issue all up in people's men's face and being
yeah,
extremely inappropriate with husbands.
yes,
And you're worrying
yes,
about, you did it on national TV for clear as day for
yes.
everyone to see. And now
And
you're
you
worried
worried
about
about a stripper
a
and a
single woman and a single
stripper.
man. That is so crazy. And then if Portia was a man, there is no way that a man's enemy would say he ain't shit, man. He slept with a stripper. Like, don't nobody care.
Yeah, and I don't think that Portia did it. I know I might be of the
Now,
majority, but I don't believe that Portia did it. Hear me out.
yeah,
She's been on the show for however many years, over
hmm,
5, over 9.
yeah,
She's got in trouble for fighting.
yeah,
She's got in trouble for saying things.
hmm,
She's got in trouble for doing things
hmm,
before. Why? After they turned the cameras in the house,
hmm,
that was also a setup. Another
yeah.
setup. Here we go. How that we can get into that later. But why would she in a house? Why don't they have any audio of it? Where's the audio?
That's what I was thinking too.
Why
Why?
isn't there
Yeah,
something to either substantiate or take it off the table? Why are they allowing her to beat
probably
this
gonna let it
dead
come out in the
horse?
reunion.
But it's still, why are they allowing her to beat this dead horse? It's disgustingly ridiculous. I told you the lady in New York, they both had the same dude in the vacation.
Here's my thing. The fact that Kenya is doing, first of all, nobody on the show except for now Marlo, which is weird, but no one on the show is down with this. Not even people she has had issues with in the past. Not
Right.
Cynthia, not Kenya. Nobody is down with this.
Nobody's checking for it.
Yeah,
Nobody.
Kenya is just desperately wanting to attack
She's
Portia.
like
And the
flailing.
proof is, before this even happened, what did Kenya say about Portia protesting? She had nothing but shade. You have
Right.
shade about a black woman out here protesting for people like
Yeah.
you and your family and your daughter. How are
Right.
you trying to
And your
turn?
husband, your
Yes,
your husband,
girl.
your
What
wishband.
were they even if nobody, no,
Where's
girl,
the marriage certificate? I see so many marriage certificates. People could pull mine if they knew my whole name. They could try to pull mine. I have one.
no
That's a hard
family,
one.
no friends was at that wedding.
You know.
Was her auntie at that wedding?
I think she was the one that laid down in front of she was the one with her uh red lingerie and her legs spread eagle
No,
on the ground.
at Kenya's wedding. Did any of her family come to Kenya's wedding? I think
She
Kenya
said
did want
no.
the stripper. Hold on,
Yeah,
21
she
Janja.
did.
Kenya did want that stripper and she was mad. When I watched that, she actually irritated me that episode because she got upset when Portia got up and got on the stripper. She kept telling her to get away from him and sit down. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. He's a stripper. If he didn't say anything wrong with it, mind your business. But
Right.
she definitely wanted that attention. And when she didn't get it, she was upset, which is why she would actually go down there and listen outside the door for what she said was 45 minutes, like a creep, like a pervert.
Yeah, I felt like I said in my initial
Legs open.
review that I felt like a peeping Tom in training. I felt like they were trying
Yeah.
to make me like I felt really nasty looking through those
And
blinds like
honey,
that.
I was looking. I forgot about it for a sec. I was looking.
Oh, she's an
Mm-mm.
Aquarius. She's an Aquarius. That doesn't tell me a lot
Kenya's
about
an
her.
Aquarius.
Yeah, she's January 24th, 1971, 50 years of age, Detroit, Michigan. Married to
That's not an
Mark
Aquarius.
Daly. It says here she's married to Mark Daly.
That's
January
not an
24th?
Aquarius though. That's a Pisces, isn't it? February. Oh, January 24th.
Right.
Oh, okay. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I've never known an Aquarius to be that nasty. I know a
Me
multiple
neither. I
of them.
wonder when her rise. She must have like some kind of, I don't know. I hate
I
to
don't.
say it. I
Yeah,
love a good Scorpio, but she's like really like revengeful, like a shadow side
she's not
Scorpio.
even revengeful. You know, my issue with her is she starts the crap with everybody. She started it with Phaedra. She started
But
it with
not
Portia.
not in her head. She's crazy.
She is
In her
crazy,
head, they started in her head, she's like, okay, if they blink their eyes one more time, I'm gonna have a problem with them.
and she
And then
manipulates people
yeah.
into thinking she has a valid reason. That's the
Hmm.
most irritating thing for me. And I'm
She like
like,
puts spells on people, I think.
but here's my thing. I really don't feel that way because Cynthia chooses that type of friend just as Marlo does. They liked Nene a whole lot. Now Nene was straight,
Yeah.
but Nene was that type of manipulative friend too, to be
It
my
was
friend.
disgusting
I'm
what she
dragging
did
you
to
through drama.
Tanya.
Yes, so I feel like the people around her might not be that stupid, but they
Twice.
what?
Sorry. I said it was mean what she did to Tanya twice.
Who
First
would
with the cookie
Kenya did?
lady. Yeah. First with the cookie
That
lady,
evil
now with Bola.
girl.
Because Tanya is so beautiful and
And
carefree, and
happy.
she says
She
all
hates
her
it.
O's like she's from Canada.
Yeah.
Canada. I say it Canada. And she says about. Let me
She's
tell
too
you
happy.
about
That's what it is.
too happy and too beautiful, too
Hmm.
real, too almost married. Her
And
boyfriend's willing to show up
that's
to the
really what makes me
events.
think that maybe Portia might be lying is to protect Tanya because Tanya is a part of the story too. That might be the
I don't
only
think
reason.
Tanya did anything. That's back to my thing about why she didn't do it. You've been on the show. Why would you take
Yeah.
yourself in the room and actually do that, especially with your enemies in the house? There is no, oh no, keep interrupting. No, I love it. I love it. We love this interaction. Thank you for being with us tonight, 21 Janja. We
Okay.
appreciate you. We are loving this interaction. Say what you got to say, you know. Um,
Yeah, so
yeah,
I mean, I do think like for me, I felt like it was just the way that they're controlling the story is confusing me and I don't like it. I feel like when Tanya spoke up at that table and she said, well, I can tell you for a fact I was in Portia's room last night. Everybody was like, oh, she just gave herself up. And I'm like, I think she
that
was trying to let
is,
you know she was in there sleeping and neither one of them
and
did
nothing
anything.
happened. Exactly.
But what's making it difficult is the fact that Marlo kind of said she heard something. Marlo's the fakest friend ever, but we'll get to that later.
Marlo's
Marlo
a
kind of said
survival specialist.
she kind of said she heard something, and then who else said something? Candy said she kind of heard something, and then you have Kenya. So it just seems like I don't know whether she did it or not, but I think they need to realize that it does not matter, and I feel like she doesn't have to admit it. You know what I mean? Who
Yeah.
has to? There is not a woman alive who probably wouldn't hesitate about speaking to women about who they had sex with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think that Candy, I think Candy was being sneaky. I agree, Jonja,
Yeah.
because how are you going to say what happens in the dungeon stays in the dungeon and then allow the hostess of the party that you help get people to? How are you going to allow her to interrogate these ladies like this and not just put an end to it?
Well, she
They
couldn't
all
do
should have
anything
got.
about it. She
They
couldn't do
should have
anything
got up
about
and
what
walked
Kenya did, but
away. Kenya's disgusting for even entertain. They could have
yeah,
not entertained her.
Kenya just
Ken,
should have shut. I mean, Candy should have shut her mouth and not said anything about it, and just 100%. I'm not talking about what happened in the dungeon. I
yeah,
really expected that from her.
yeah, yeah, but she didn't.
She didn't, because she
Instead,
don't like Portia, and we can talk about why she don't like Portia for the same reason. But really, because I don't know if you remember, but Todd said Portia was the baddest housewife, and after that, that's when their real issue has started.
yeah, she's jelly.
Jealous.
She's jelly. And Portia is just so Portia. Like Portia's just so Portia. Like she's
She
she's
too happy and
older.
perky and bubbly.
but
And
she's
they look so
younger.
unhappy.
And yeah, and I don't know, they're just hating on her. Mark is suing her for alimony. She got it Tanya 2 times. She keeps going in on the Bolo thing because she doesn't have a storyline. That's the whole point.
And
The
it's not
struggle
even
for content
entertaining.
is real because none of them have a storyline.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even entertaining, and it's not entertaining that she's coming after her like this because she's not giving her anything back. So I'm like, just drop it and move forward. And plus, I don't know if you remember, but when they went on that trip with Sheree, the boat ride, do you remember like Kenya got so upset that the guys weren't giving her any attention, and she caused this scene, and she's like, "I'm calling the police." Do you remember that?
When what now?
So the girls went on a trip, on a boat trip, and there were some
Is
guys
that
that
when is that
Sheree's
when
nephew and them.
uh Portia kicked
What's
Cynthia? Is that
no
the boat trip? Okay, then I don't know which boat trip.
21 Janja? What you mean, really? So yeah, this was when Sheree was on. This is before that trip. Sheree was on that season, and they went on a trip. They got on a boat. Sheree's nephew came. Sheree's nephew was handsome.
Oh
She said, "Yes." Oh my
yeah.
God, you remember everything?
I remember them
Yes,
getting in the house and having to call security.
yes,
And the
because
boat right before that, vaguely. Okay, keep going.
so you
Okay.
see, she has a habit of getting upset about other women getting the attention
Oh,
she wants
totally.
and then
Totally.
reacting ridiculously. But
Ridiculous.
it's disgusting. And on one hand, I wouldn't be upset if somebody actually had put a hand on her, because Kenya does things and she taunts people in a way that will make somebody get out of their own character. Even Phaedra pulled that pocketbook back one time. She will disrespect your husband. She will talk
She
about,
does
she called
everything
Phaedra's
to get a
husband
rise
gay.
out of you.
Yes, it's
And
just
then she
disgusting.
puts her hands up like, "Oh my God, you're gonna hit me." She does
Yes.
everything to like make you, she will come over to you. She's the kind of evil that will come over to you and pinch your baby. And then you
Hmm.
go to slap her because you just see what she did to your child. And she'll be like, oh, this person's attacking me.
She
Like
plays the
all
victim.
crazy. Yeah, like it's crazy to watch.
Yeah, I don't like that
Not
woman
that
at
she ever
all.
did that. Not that she ever did
Yeah.
that. That was an extreme example. But so is the meanness that
It's
she subjects
disgusting.
me to watch.
Yeah.
I only watched Heathers so many times back in the day. Do you know what Heathers is?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, watch that movie. Google it. Heathers, Google it. It was a movie from back, and Jawbreaker was Heathers and Jawbreaker the same thing. Anyway, it's movies from back in the day about mean girls taking it way too far.
Mm.
Yeah, and so there's one called Jawbreaker, and that's a crazy movie, 1999 American comedy, very crazy. You can watch it. It's very good. And the other one is Heathers. I think that's the other one. I'm hecka old, you guys. So
Heather. Well, you done
Heathers
gave
Heathers
us
is
some good
from
content.
1989, you guys. I graduated in 87. Um, Heathers is from 1989, and that was another Mean Girls type of movies from back in the day. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled.
Yeah, yeah, she does too much. She takes it too far, and it's irritating. And at this point, it's really sickening to watch. But what really blows my mind is the fact that the other girls kind of jump on the bandwagon. Like I watched I
Yes,
forgot the show that
that's the alliance.
yeah, what's that show? It's a show that the girls get on and they kind of rehash every episode, and it's on YouTube. I forgot the name of the channel.
Survivor.
No, it's the girls from Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh, chat room.
Is that what it is?
Do they have the four boxes on the screen?
Mm-mm. But
Oh,
it's
okay.
based. But anyways, it's like a recap of the show. It's on Bravo's channel.
Oh yeah, right afterwards they do the
Yeah.
after show. Yeah, it's the after show.
No, not that one.
Oh,
Do
I
you?
don't know then.
I know. I should have looked it up. But anyway, so Kenya, not Kenya, Cynthia and Candy were on the show. I actually watched it earlier today, and they were saying like they understood where Kenya was coming from because if it was her, that everyone would have been bringing it up, and
No,
that
they wouldn't have if it was at the dungeon. Psh, nobody would have cared. They would have been so happy because she would have been acting right probably finally.
nobody would have been drinking and having fun and then stood outside of her bedroom to
Yeah,
listen,
that was
first of
just
all.
creepy.
And I'm like, who was taking care of your baby? But anyways, so
Yeah,
they were just saying all of these things, and then they were like, well, um, if they didn't want anyone to know, they shouldn't have did it in the house with her there,
I
and
don't
yada
think she
yada
did it.
yada.
I don't think so.
I
Where's the
don't
audio?
know, and I just really don't care. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I don't care. But I think people are consistently overlooking the fact that Kenya is coming after people on her own and not even getting anything back right now.
What if? Okay, I'm clapping because I just thought of it. What if Portia, Bolo, and Tanya made sounds like they were having sex in the room?
Now, come on.
And no, okay, listen, I've done that before in my
Okay.
life as a human on this earth.
Uh-huh.
In my many years of being on this earth,
Hmm.
I have been in a position to be in a room with somebody I was supposed to be smashing, and
Hmm.
we mutually decided to only make the sounds like we were smashing, and nobody did a smell check. So,
Girl, what? Hold up, wait a minute. You done took me somewhere with that. I ain't never, ever, ever, not in real life have I heard that. But it's possible, but I really don't think that's the case. I really just think, if anything, I don't know. I don't even want to speak on whether she did it or not because I don't have anyone in my life who would ever, you know what I'm saying? If somebody would ever be like asking me and requesting me to speak on what my single vagina is doing, I would never associate with them because it sounds like drama. But I don't care whether she did it or not. I just don't. To me, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't. It's not gonna change my perception of her. She is a single, grown woman.
yeah. But I still don't think it just doesn't make any sense. It's out of character. There have been other opportunities. Nobody drank that much.
Bolo ain't been at
Bolo
them other
is not that
opportunities.
fine. I do not think that Bolo is
Girl,
that fine. I do
Bolo
not
was
think
packing,
I
and
and even if he was packing like that, I think that Portia is discreet enough to wait until she had him all to herself.
that's them Catholic schools in you.
Yeah.
'Cause no, I will tell you this. I probably would have been in the room with Bolo. If I was on a trip, it would have been me. It would have been me.
Really?
Yeah, it would have been me. And I would say that because you could tell they were out of it. Portia was
Yeah.
like, somebody eating me out tonight. They were wasted and they were horny. I'm
All of that from
heterosexual.
drinking?
Girl, yeah. All of that from drinking, girl. Drinking is the devil. Okay?
I don't know. I don't
Yes.
know.
But it's
Drinking
just about
well,
drinking
no,
too
they used to
much.
say gin makes you wanna sin and all that stuff. There are those sayings about drinking. I forgot.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
forgot.
I can be at home by myself and drink some, and be like, dang, I'm kind of feeling it right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but liquor can definitely get you there, especially if you drink too much. But, I mean, they were already riled up and very sexual. They were humping each
yeah,
other and all of that.
yeah.
And then Bolo's there and he's got all of that meat that he's proven is real. And I mean, she got up, she was ready to go from the moment they saw each other. She was, you know,
She was, and she did say she had him already. She was following his Instagram or something she mentioned.
Yeah, everybody know Bolo. Everybody know Bolo. If I
Ah,
drank and Bolo was there, I would also. Exactly, 21 Janja. Shoot, exactly. And that's probably what Kenya was doing downstairs anyways, trying to tiptoe down there and see where he was at. But yeah, so I don't
yeah,
put
she
it
was
past
trying to
her.
get some between was she still is she still breastfeeding? That's my question. Is she still breastfeeding? Was she still breastfeeding?
I have
Is that
no
why
clue.
Brooklyn was there? I'm not sure why
She don't
Brooklyn
have
was
no
there.
other babysitter or nothing. She don't have nobody to watch Brooklyn but the nanny that she pays.
And then she wants everybody to be her village, but she
Girl,
can't
and you
hold
evil.
water.
Yeah.
She can't hold water even if it was true, she couldn't hold water. Well, you're supposed to have my back to have your village. You know what I mean? What about that?
I think my thing is, so everyone seemed to have truly believed that none of this was going to air. Everyone believed that this was not going to air. The cameras were gone. Look at what they had to do to give us the footage we got, you know?
Hmm.
So I just feel like for her to be that one person who is going to like put all this information out, I'm not really surprised. I won't say that. I'm not surprised, but I almost thought that she was, decent enough and just normal enough to not do that. But of
She
course
has
she did.
taken every opportunity. She mentioned it at the wedding while she was mic'd in the bathroom. She mentions it just every opportunity she got. Like, and she did get Marlo stirred up.
Immediately.
And oh, did
Now,
you see Portia's response about oh my god, I'm sorry if I'm yelling. I can't hear myself, you guys. I told you. Oh my god. Did you see Portia's response about she's willing to forgive Marlo because uh people when you get lipo, drink and take medication all at one time, it affects
ooh,
you or
yeah, that's
something
supposed to
she
come out
wrote.
next episode, right? I seen that in the preview, like next episode. Now, while she talking about Portia telling lies, you went and got lipo and lied about
Yes,
it.
yes. She's looking snatched in her pictures on IG, but I'm gonna unfollow Marlo because I don't like her snakeish behavior. That's what I do. I take my views back and I have my own personal boycotts of stuff. I'm like, I'm
Right.
not shopping there, I'm not viewing that, you're not getting mine. I do that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'll unfollow her. She'll have one
That's
less
how you got to
follower.
do it, though. That's how you do it to show people that, you don't like what they doing. Because if enough people
Yeah,
do it,
how they
she'll be like,
move.
ooh.
Yeah, because I don't have to agree with how you move. I don't have to follow you and support
Mhm.
you if I don't move how you move. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's one of the things that OG even said was that she is a strong, confident woman and she doesn't need to move with weak-minded people
Yes,
because
yes,
to make
yes.
herself strong because she's strong on her own.
That's
You know
how
what
I
I
am.
mean?
And people don't like that. People will definitely like join together to eliminate you if they feel like
Oh yeah.
you're too strong.
Oh yeah. Did I tell you, speaking of too happy, um, was I got fired once for being too happy? Like they actually said that in the exit
No.
interview. Yeah, that's gonna be one of my famous stories. Is so I worked at Women's Alcoholism Center
Uh-huh.
at at in San Francisco.
Like, girl, is you coming in here drunk?
And no, no, I wasn't. I'm just like I'm so bubbly and just always been, right? So
Mhm.
I'm all hello every day. And I was the office manager, right? Yeah, literally got fired for being too happy. And so I was the office manager at this place and I was doing their invoicing, doing their ordering for their notepads and make sure the office was stocked and answering the phone. And so I was kind of like the go-to for all the little like those kinds of things. I wasn't signing checks, but
Mhm.
I was preparing the invoices for that. And I was writing up memos and taking minutes in the board meetings and stuff like that, right? So I was doing it all with a smile. I was happy to be there. I loved going every day to this office. It was so cool. It was in this classic, beautiful, historical location. And I love walking there from the BART station.
Girl, what
And
happened?
so yeah, too happy. So this lady, so I was there and this lady came to work that had been out
Uh-huh.
and we had to share office space. And so I'm still da 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 da. And she went to the manager whose name was Mary. She goes over to Mary and says, I can't take it. I can't take it, Mary. She's just too Pollyanna. She's just too
That's
damn
how people
Pollyanna.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. She said she's just too damn Pollyanna. I can't take it. And
Mhm.
so there wasn't another space for me to be in that office.
Mhm.
And so within like a week, Mary called me into her office and says, Leah, it's been great having you work here. But you know the lady that came back whose office you're in right now? Yeah, when I say whose office you're in, yeah, as it turns out, she's been out because she had some kind of medical condition. And I'm sure she's passed,
Aw.
rest in peace now. And I
Oh.
wasn't under HIPAA, so I can say that part of her
Mhm.
condition was she had like this huge, like basketball size growth inside of her that
Aw.
needed to be taken out.
Mhm.
And she comes back from having that removed and wants me fired for being too happy. I was
Wow.
like, you know, you're going to grow that back, right?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Mm, mm.
You know, you're going to grow that back. I was like, that's what starts those kinds of things.
I wish I could grow this vodka back. How do I have a whole bottle of vodka that I've been looking for it the whole time? But I'm
Did you
listening.
finally find it? Did you finally
No,
find it? No
no.
way. No way.
Now somebody done
Uh-uh.
stole it.
So yeah, so Mary had to let me go because the lady that came back was the one that was seniority. But yeah, that was my story of working at Women's Alcoholism in San Francisco. It was a really nice experience other than that. But yeah, being too happy, people will take you down.
People
They will
hate
make
it.
sure you don't get a check.
Yes, I got a quick story time too. I had a cousin,
Uh-huh.
and she felt really insecure about herself. So, and I knew this, so I would let her get away with making digs at me.
Uh-huh.
But it really bothered her. She loved coming around. I throw a very good party, okay? I
Uh-huh.
throws
I
a
bet you do.
I do, and I'm all about keeping things planned and having activities to keep everybody active. So I throw a good party. So that's why she's really coming, because I'm always going to provide a good time, no drama. But she is the drama, will come around saying shady things to kind of mess up the mood a little bit. I would
Uh-huh.
always overlook it because I knew she felt insecure about herself and she was projecting, and I love her. Girl, so she kept doing it to the point to where I got so upset. Let me tell you what she did. We was in the middle of
Tell
playing
me.
we were in the middle of playing Never Have I Ever, and she knew that there was a girl there. Now me and this girl, I didn't know this until after we met. Me and this girl had messed with the same guy. Okay. Now we're already
Yeah.
kicking it. I'm not running them. I'm just not bringing it up. But my cousin knows. So while we're playing Never Have I Ever, she's like, Never have I ever messed with somebody's guy and then hung out with him. I was like, bitch, no, you didn't.
Oh no,
No,
no.
you didn't. No, you didn't.
OMG.
And so anyways, come to find out the girl actually already knew. She already knew. She didn't actually even care about it. They weren't together at the time. So it is what it is. But I quit messing with her after that, and I talked to a mutual cousin about it, and she was like, she just felt like you was so damn happy all the time, and she just wanted to see what you looked like when something happened. And I'm like, I
That is some psychotic shit.
it is. She just wanted to know that it wasn't possible to be as happy as I was. But what she don't realize, because she basic AF, is that you have to work hard to be joyful. It's not you're not just born with it all the time. You have to fight for your joy.
Oh yeah. And
Shoot.
even while you have to fight for your joy, it's promised. It's a
Period.
promise,
Hmm.
you know? So that's a good thing.
Okay, but let's get
Um
back to Marlo, because Marlo is so
Marlo is
trifling.
so trifling. She's a survival specialist. She is all about her. And you know what? So sad. She's another person that is just all about the outside and nothing of substantiating is going on inside, obviously, or else she would have some type of allegiance or loyalty and not come off as such a manipulative survival specialist. Like she
Right.
just clings to whatever is good. Like the first time her and Kenya hung out those years back was because her and Nene fell out.
Yeah. You're right. That is what happened. She teamed up with Kenya just because her and Nene had fell out.
And what happened this time? Her and Nene fell out, so where's she at again? With
Kenya.
Kenya.
I feel like she feel I feel like Kenya and Nene actually have similar personalities, and I feel like look at their friends. Marlo and Cynthia both cling to them. Some people just
Birds of a
cling
feather.
to yeah, some people just cling to toxic people like that. You know,
Yeah.
because the only friends Nene, I mean not Nene, but Kenya can are the people who were attracted to Nene. But I don't know, but I will say this. It's so funny to me how
Clothes are
Marlo,
funny. She's very superficial. You're right, Jonja.
why do you see her stuff before I do?
I think because I have the
Oh, cause you okay, this your
yeah.
okay. Okay. So, but yeah, so it's funny how she wants Portia to be all outspoken with her truths. And girl, weren't you trying to hide that you were an escort? Have you ever even
Yeah.
admitted it? And then like some people have said she was a madam. I don't know, but
Where's her storyline? We could be talking about her nephews.
yeah.
We could be talking about her businesses. But no, instead, we have to witness a woman in Gucci shoes kiss the butt of a woman with a protective hairpiece on.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes, like, even though her clothes probably cost a lot, sometimes it still kind of missed the mark for me. I remember when they went to her house and she had like a
It's
fake,
too couture for me sometimes. I'm like, is that what they're wearing?
yeah, sometimes it's like, but I remember when they went to her house and they had that fake Camel cigarette box. Do you remember that? She had like a decorative piece. It was like a glammed up cigarette box. And I was like,
Oh
mm-mm.
yeah.
But
And
I
it
didn't
was
know
like
she's,
over there.
yeah.
It was like over
I
there.
was like, that is not cute, but
Her place actually just looks small and full of stuff. Like I'm like it's just like looks like a storage room. It almost looks like so you don't watch other franchises, so you don't know about Mary's Closet on Real
mm-mm.
Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Is it
Oh.
nice?
No, if you Google it, it's hilarious. Like that was a thing because she's like so rich, but her closet is just like different bedrooms with funky shelves. It's hilarious.
Mm. I broke a nail. Um, well, I'm gonna have to check it
Sorry, I
out.
hate that. Um, yeah, so joy is not promised, but I know joy is promised, and you do
Not for
have to
Kenya.
fight for it.
Kenya
But
gonna
for
be miserable
Kenya,
the rest of her life, and I'm happy
because she
about it.
doesn't ever take the opportunity to do right.
Mm-mm.
If she would just one time,
And
it
then
would
this
be
whole
like a
fake. I don't believe
uh,
nothing about that marriage.
me neither. Who does? Does anybody? 21 Janja, do you believe that Kenya is married? Asking for a friend.
It's hard to believe. It really is. Um, he definitely don't have no love for her. And
Right?
I see why. I don't care how much she tries to play the victim and make it seem like she's just going through hell with the bad guy. Girl, we know you. The worst thing that she probably could have done was I think they are married. Okay, well, one for Kenya. A lot of people actually do think they're married.
Do you think that we should be able to pull up a receipt about that,
Most
21
definitely.
Janja? Because most marriages are, you know,
All of them, are they not?
yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. Like nobody, not the best of them, has been able to come up with any paperwork.
Look, I'm looking it
I
up
just
now.
think they don't know each other well enough, and she makes people angry quick.
Her
Yeah, well,
issue. Oh, this is supposed to be. So there's my marriage certificate to all the haters who care. Kenya and Mark announced their separation in 2019 after 2 years of marriage. I didn't even know they was married that long. Kenya Moore
hmm
produced a fake marriage license, girl. I can't even.
that's what it says, right?
Right after that one was on May 11th, and on May 12th it says that it was fake.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I'll have to read more into that to see or not. But my thing with Kenya is that Kenya was pretending to be someone she was not.
always.
Yeah, she was pretending
from
to
the
be
jump. She
someone
moved
she
to
was not.
Atlanta to
Yes.
be on the show. She moved to Atlanta so she could be cast on the show. So it all started
Now,
off with fakery.
I mean, with her and Mark, she was nothing like herself while she was with Mark. Everybody
Hmm.
kept saying, "Well, I wish Kenya was Ken all the time." She was pretending, and that's why it didn't work out. You can't pretend to be a good woman when you're not. Girl,
Right.
it's gonna come out.
Lipstick only gets you so far. I've been
Yeah.
married for some 15, 14 years now,
Hmm.
and we've been together since 96. And so lipstick doesn't get you far. I'm just going to tell you that. Lipstick does not get you far.
Yes, now she said it was fake. 21 Janja, I'm not really sure now. Like I said, on the 11th, you see that she showed the marriage certificate. On the 12th, this is from what is this? Allaboutthetea.com. I don't know how credible this source is, but it's the second thing that came up on Google when I Googled it. The three-part Real Housewives of Atlanta virtual reunion series kicked off Sunday night, blah, blah, blah. During the reunion, Kenya Moore attempted to set the record straight about her crashed marriage to Mark, responding to ongoing rumors, blah, blah, blah. The reality beauty queen produced a supposed marriage license during the episode, but a snapshot of the document reveals that the marriage license stamp is dated August 2nd, 2019, instead of Kenya's alleged wedding date of June 10th, 2017.
Whoa.
Furthermore, Kenya and Mark Daly announced their split on September 19th. So they were married one
Whoa.
month? Wait, August,
Whoa.
November. Look.
Oh.
Wait. Hold on. Okay, so hold on. Let me go back and read this again. A snapshot of the December, I'm sorry, a snapshot of the document reveals that the marriage license stamp is dated August 2nd, 2019, instead of Kenya's alleged wedding date of June 10th, 2017.
Whoa.
Furthermore, Kenya and Mark Daly announced their split on September 2019.
Mm, mm,
Okay,
mm.
so, and I mean, they of course zoomed into it and the stamp says August 2nd, 2019. So what would make them get married? I don't get this. Why would they get married at that time? Or she
Isn't that
got it,
years?
oh, she went and got it made for, I don't get it. Did she go and get the certificate made? Because I know my dad married a woman years ago and they got married, but they never went and got the certificate until, I don't think they ever got their certificate. They're not together no more.
You can't. Okay, so here's how it works. When
Uh,
I got married, I'm pretty sure we, for your marriage to be valid, we had to go get the license, and then we had a certain amount of time for us to have that license validated by the preacher that married us
mhm.
and returned back to them within a certain amount of time for us to be validly married.
Okay.
So, and that time period was not years. It was like 90 days,
Yeah, a
120
very, yeah, I
days
know it's not
tops.
this much time.
And
So,
isn't that years like Zyborgs is saying?
yeah, that's what
Zyborgs
I
and
was just
Anderson
about
and
to get to his
style.
comment or to their comment. So yeah, it was, so the wedding date was supposed to be June 2017, but the stamp is from August 2019, and then they split in September 2019. So it didn't add up. And I guess she didn't think anyone would zoom into it.
Yeah. Well,
Um, I want to read it more, but it's a little too difficult.
because think about it. Kenya could have been talking about this is all a distraction because Kenya had just left the freaking lawyer's office from being asked for alimony by homeboy,
See, that was
Mark.
hard to believe. It was, all of that was
And
kind of hard to believe.
but all you can talk about on the whole show for the entire time, your entire storyline is Portia. Portia, Portia, Portia. That's why she said it like that. She thought she
Yeah.
was being mean. It's because she's programmed herself to only talk about Portia, Portia, Portia. She can't stop.
I mean, she can't, and it's not even entertaining. It. I won't lie to you. If Portia was actually engaging and going back and forth with her and hitting her with the information she has on her, it might be a little bit more entertaining. But at this
Yeah.
point, it just looks ugly. because
Right. All
Kenya's
by
doing all
herself.
of it by
By
herself.
herself. She looks like one of those crazy people you see muttering on a corner, and you think, oh, poor thing, because Portia's not giving her any dust. Portia is like living her best life, Portia Luther King, and
Hmm.
doing whatever she's in chat rooming, you know. And I know that Kenya has a thing coming out on Netflix, but she can't keep Nene out of her mouth on a Netflix show.
What?
That's what
Oh,
the reports are.
on family, what is it called? The family reunion?
Yeah. I think
Oh
that
my
that was
goodness.
the reports. Here, I'm looking it up. Talk about it.
I
You
haven't
talk about it.
actually watched the show, but I
Uh-huh.
thought about watching it to see what was going on. And I'm like, I don't like Kenya, so I was like, why is she even on there? But
Yeah, I don't know. Kenya Moore, Nene
sorry,
Leak,
I'm swallowing. I don't know.
uh,
But
news.
anyway, so as far as her and Mark's
Oh, here it
maybe
is.
Kenya and Mark both just
Showbiz.
wanted a baby. See, I wondered that 21 Janja. I was wondering like something about that, but like he's not trying to get the baby. He trying to be around the baby. So before I would believe that, I'll believe she poked a hole in the condom. I
Okay,
ain't gonna lie. But I don't know. Um
look,
wh-
here we go. It says from Showbiz cheat sheet. RHOA star Kenya Moore takes a jab at Nene Leakes in family reunion. Bravo celebrity businesswoman is attached to other projects outside of the show, but she took a jab at Nene Leakes. Netflix recently released season 2 of Family Reunion, a wholesome family sitcom featuring Tia Mowry, Loretta Devine, Anthony Albee, and Richard Roundtree. Blah, 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 blah. That's where Kenya Moore comes in. This season, Moore is guest starring along with two other Real Housewife cast members, Candace Dillard Bassett of Potomac
what?
and Brandy Glanville of Beverly Hills. Moore plays Kenya, Coco's cousin, while Dillard Bassett appears as Sunita Chanel, and Glanville's role is Heidi. The wives' characters are part parody and they're trying to help her with her business. Oh, here it is. Kenya quips, a giraffe. I'll see if Nini's available. It should be noted that Family Reunion is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Mm,
She's calling Nini a giraffe some more. So that's still kind of the colorism thing. As far as like features, don't be mad because her legs are longer than yours. And again, it just goes back to that attention thing that you were talking about. You
yeah, I
know,
don't see.
that's like,
I don't know what they got going on. I don't even remember what Kenya and Nini's issue was other than Cynthia, but Cynthia needs to do a better job at choosing friends.
right.
Like my thing with Kenya is it's like to be your friend, I got to be in the mix of all this drama. Like, girl,
Right.
no.
Well,
Mm-mm.
speaking of drama and somebody who recognizes being in the middle of it, that was part of why Adam Ali said that he had to push off from
Latoya,
Latoya was
yes.
because of her drinking and cheating and partying and not wanting to be there. And he
Hmm.
did recognize that she was going through postpartum depression, he
Yeah.
said, probably,
Well, let
and
me
he
read
tried to
it.
be there.
Let me go
Yeah,
ahead and read it
read
because I got it
us.
pulled up. So I'm gonna read fast. Blah, 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 blah. All right. So Latoya goes live and Latoya expresses what she experienced with him and basically says that she did cheat on him and he yanked her out of the bed and he physically assaulted her. He abused her. Um, and so then there are screenshots. These are all on Latoya's page, but it's text from Adam. But Latoya is saying that he's hacking her pages and posting things. So I'm not really sure who posted it, but it's on her page and it's from Adam. Yeah, I probably saw it on the Shade Room. But it says, "You better be very careful. I defended you on this video that's coming out. Don't forget your do. Don't forget your doings. You won't recover if I really say what happens." And then he says, Trey, Six, Trini, Artid trackers, B, putting kids in harm's way, gun, TPO, your mother, which looks like he's listing out things that he's going to mention. Remember, I have you attacking me for 20 minutes. You will lose Real Housewives of Atlanta 100%. Let us not forget what transpired in the church, too. Your truth is delusional and a lie. Yeah, lack the ability to take any ownership, just running around. I'll simply follow up and put it to rest. I overly defended you in this video coming out, but talk your shit. Let us not forget what transpired in the church, too. Your truth is delusional and a lie. I think I already read all of that. Okay, you're looking for validation when you should be living your honest life. You can't even do that. It's sad as fuck. Getting yourself a Rolly and then attributing it to him. Wait. Okay. Save the lie because I'll expose you if it need be. Watch the interview, Goofy. You can't dead anything because you're a delusional lie. Go ahead and drop the video, Matt, because I did a soft ass interview when y'all stay paper cutting me and talking shit. Dude don't even know me and been talking shit. Fuck him and tell him to come outside. Um, him and expose his skeletons too. My follow up video will be the cream. So, anyways, he then goes on to say this woman has been messy and all I did was protect her. She dabbles around the facts and truth, takes no responsibility for her actions, whereas everyone, no one has survived her. I'll tell the whole truth today. She wishes I was a deadbeat dad, will never happen. And she's mad because I declined all her advances at me. We are not equally yoked. Yes, my soul is not for sale. Literally, this is a cry for help from her. There's speaking your truth, and then there's clout chasing. She's not happy. Her entire self worth and validation comes from the internet. You can buy a body, a house, your own Rolly too, but you can never buy character or aura. The soul knows. So then he has these lives going
Whoa.
in. Yeah, and he's got these lives going in front of the camera talking about how he ended up doing the interview that made her upset and that, he was invited there to do the interview because they
Yeah,
said
with
they were a fan of
Latasha
his.
K. Wine.
Yeah, so
Unwind with Tasha K. Yeah, I saw it. I
I'm
saw
just
that and I saw Latoya's.
mhm,
And I know that his was scheduled before she did hers. And
mhm,
I think it might have even already been taped. And she hurried up and did hers, like to preempt what she thought he was going to say. And so she
mhm.
went all ham. And that's why he's like, I did mine soft. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you didn't
That's why her and
even
Kenya
give
are
me a
friends.
chance, you know? And I think he's telling the truth because I see how she's moving on the show, how she just gets business and shares it real fast. Just to like she just needs to be saying something. I feel sorry for her.
She's a little
I kind of
unstable.
feel, yeah, like I don't know. I kind of feel like she might not be stable enough for reality TV.
Right.
And she even said in her interview that she's taking meds now and she said a diagnosis for something she's taking meds for as far as in her mind.
Yeah, I mean,
And
the comments are basically just like, I believe him. I believe him.
yeah,
God.
yeah, I totally believe him too.
I mean, well, I don't know. I don't believe or disbelieve. I'm just collecting the tea because I just started watching her, and for me, I feel like I watched her on the show. She was very unstable, but I'm like, are you just a toxic? You know what? When she disrespected that woman in her house like that, I don't know if I can come back. And then she's sober. She has no remorse. So yeah, I believe I would believe some pretty bad things about her. She's very Kenya Moorish.
Comments. Let's see. You see that, Latoya?
Oh, let me go look because I didn't see nothing. You see how Latoya acted in that lady's house, Fallon. Yes, I did. 21 Janja.
Yeah,
That was so disgusting, and she
that
wouldn't have
was
made it out my
horrible.
house.
I
Luckily,
saw
she
she only
waited.
if Fallon wouldn't have went back for the golf club, she wouldn't have made it.
Yeah,
But
I
I
would have had to
think
be
that
there
was
on the
also
end.
Fallon's chance to try to like walk it off. That was her version of count to 10. She
Yeah,
didn't really want to go hit her with the golf club.
yeah,
She knew her husband would be mad if he got a bent up golf club.
Yeah, that was so disgusting. So it's hard to even, if it wasn't for that, I would say that the alcoholism and I've seen her struggling a bit. Like I saw her struggling to hold down Kenya. In my opinion, it seemed like she was trying to fulfill Kenya's agenda, but then she was looking at her like, what are we doing? Like, when they were still in Costa Rica, wherever they were.
Right.
So I almost felt like she was decent, she could have a good time. But I don't know. Yeah, when she acted like that up in Fallon's house, like, and then showed no remorse, that's probably it. She was good on this last trip though. So
Yeah, she tried to be. She tried to be. She was a version of good, huh?
yeah, maybe it was just the liquor. She didn't apologize for that stuff with Fallon, but
She didn't drink and cause any more stuff, so that
yeah,
was nice.
she sat there minding her business. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's give ourselves wind down time here. It's almost been 2 hours on our first live
Oh my
Toddy
God,
Vision.
so much time. We didn't even talk about Married to Medicine.
I know. Oh my God. So let's close out with that. I'll start. I'll start because I love Dr. Heavenly. Shout out to Dr. Heavenly. I
Okay.
love her. And I am loving that she's opening up her Heavenly Beauty Supply. You should check it out. She has an online thing. I like that she
Ooh,
does a lot of different things and makes the teeth beautiful and all of that. Now, people think that
yes,
she might be a little messy on the show,
she's
but
messy.
I don't think that she's as messy as like her messy is like she says something, she gets over it. You have an opportunity to just get over it. You know,
Hmm.
that's she's probably going to say it again because she just told you she's probably going to say it again. So obviously, it's not something to trip off of. Whereas, why is Simone tripping on
Oh,
Jackie when Simone didn't take up for Jackie with Buffy? When I watched that as a viewer, I was like, Simone, you're really leaving
Jackie was
Jackie out to
wrong.
dry.
No, Jackie was wrong. There was nothing to take up for. Jackie was so wrong.
For
Talking to,
what?
she made a comment about Buffy not being able to have kids.
She mentioned that she apologized for it though. All that
No,
extra
mm-mm.
was too much. All the extra was too much. Now, I know that that was a sensitive subject and it had already been brought up on the show. I could understand had it never been brought up on the show and wasn't even public yet and Jackie dropped that information bomb on us and Buffy did not have the opportunity to inform us of that struggle that she had on her own, as tragic as it was. So it's no why are we mad? She was on a reality show. She mentioned it. And then when Jackie mentioned it in front of the people, that wasn't the right time. And Jackie said it wasn't malicious. And even Buffy and somebody else said, yeah, it wasn't malicious, but you shouldn't have. And she apologized 28 times from
She didn't
Sunday.
apologize. She said if
She
you felt some type
did.
of, she
She
never said I'm
did.
sorry.
She did. She said, I'm sorry. She said it.
I didn't remember that.
She
I'm
said,
sorry.
I'm sorry
Because I
so
remember
many
even at the
times.
reunion, they asked, would that apology be good enough for you guys? And she was just mad that people were telling the truth, in my opinion. But I think that I was surprised that Dr. Jackie works in that profession and could not understand how sensitive of a topic that was. I was surprised that she took a microphone
I,
and set
I,
a microphone in
no,
a room full of people at a party. And then she says,
I don't think
and I know
so.
you're
And I
infertile.
usually, I
So,
usually, did she say it like that? Did she say, and I know
yes,
you, I know she said
she,
something about, and I know you've been struggling or something like that. It wasn't that
she said,
whole,
and I know you understand, Buffy, because you're infertile. And then she
yeah,
kept going, and everybody was like, Dad. And I'm
yeah,
like, she should have known. That was very, and
yeah,
it
that
took
was
too much.
very,
It took too much.
that was a lot. And she apologized. She apologized faster than anybody else. And she repeatedly apologized, which is where her attitude came from. Because after the third apology, she literally was like, I'm not apologizing anymore, but still apologized, acquiesced again because it was like the lady kept coming back
Here, I'm
crying.
going to play it. I found it.
Play it, go ahead.
Oh, Lord. I can't play it because it's coming through my earphones.
Oh no.
Oh, God. Yeah, I was gonna play it on my laptop, but I have my headset connected to it. Okay, but
Um, Here, text me the link and I'll put it through my phone and hold it up.
okay, but see,
Or
I'm on my laptop. I can post it in the comments. So yeah. So anyways, yeah, I didn't feel like the apology was good enough. I didn't feel like she was. It seemed like she needed her friend to agree 100% with her, and she didn't want her to tell the truth about how she felt, and she just felt like it was rude. So,
Mm-mm.
and I just felt like I was like, is I didn't know if Jackie was slipping at the mind or what, like, but
That was, I mean, I give it to her. That wasn't the right thing. And it wasn't a malicious intent. And it wasn't from a hurtful place.
mhm.
And she apologized.
Yeah, I didn't think it was from a hurtful place. I just didn't catch the
So,
apology.
yeah. So, I mean, I caught it and I heard it more than once as a viewer. Like, I totally heard it more than once.
Yeah.
Because I was even with Jackie. I was like, why are they bringing this up again? Because I was like, um, now I know that was painful and everything, but at this point, the lady just kept bringing it up again and 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 again, kind of like Bolo, you know?
Mhm.
And granted, yeah, she brought it up that one time. And if it's as painful as you're saying, why do you keep bringing it up some more?
Well, I mean, it seemed like a really big issue for her in her life. And
That's true. That's
yeah, I
true.
think when she was at the event, it was not actually her who gave a reaction to what Dr. Jackie did. It was everyone else noticing. And I mean, the whole vibe in the room just changed and
Let's
shifted.
see.
Um, but here's another
Here,
one
let me
here. I'm
look
sending it
at
to you.
it. Go there, go there, go there. But yeah, so Toya's Tequila Toya this season. Remember Tia Tequila back in the day? Do you remember that show?
Uh-uh.
Tia, oh my gosh. Google Tia Tequila. It used to be this reality show during like the Flavor of Flav era kind of shows when they were just doing crazy shows. And it was this girl named Tia Tequila that liked to drink and she was bisexual and it was a dating
Oh, I
show
remember
for her
her.
and she had men and women in the house
I see
and she
her.
was
Yeah.
just off the hook hyphy. So this season I'm dubbing Toya Tequila Toya
Hmm.
and she's not as hyphy like but she did just try to get at Simone in the party last night talking
Oh,
about she wanted a three-way with Simone and oh my
oh
gosh, like
God.
I said, shout out to Dr. Heavenly who said now you know Toya's lying. Simone is the most not sexiest person of the whole group. She said, and I'm
Ooh.
not even saying anything. She said she's just not. She said
Oh
when you think of
man.
sexy, you don't think of Simone.
You don't though. You don't.
Let me see. Now I didn't get the text yet. Let me see.
I got both of them are there in the comments. I can't text it to you because I'm on the laptop.
Oh yeah,
So they're
wait.
both in the chat comments.
Let me see, chat.
So I have her initially saying it first, and then I have her apology second. And I didn't watch them because I can't watch them while I'm on here.
It'll come up. Let's see. Jackie apologizes.
But yeah, so my thing is here's my issue with Toya. Toya is so self-centered
So self-centered. Eugene's gonna mess around
and
and
leave.
leave.
He's taking
And
those
he trying to
hormone
tell,
them
yeah.
shots. It's like, bro, it's not what you think. It's your wife. It's the woman you married. That woman is draining the life out of you,
Yeah.
and that's your problem. I mean,
Yeah.
he is doing has the hardest job somebody could have throughout these times, and she is such an asshole in the worst place. She's such a spoiled brat, and I mean, sitting there
Here it
getting
comes.
drunk saying stupid stuff.
Yeah, and she's a mean drunk. It's
Yes,
disgusting.
it is.
And she's mean when she doesn't have a drink. So I think, in my opinion, that's the signs of a problem, you know.
Yeah, it most definitely is.
Here it is. Okay, that's just one of the apologies. I received, I apologize. Done
That's
with.
it?
Here, copyright disclaimer
Let's have
of
dinner.
1976. Wait, where is it?
Jackie.
Where's my
Ooh, that is
copyright
not the Jackie.
disclaimer?
You know it. There's a new girl
Copyright
about to
disclaimer.
Whoa.
Copy, where'd it go? Come
You just
on.
met her.
Oh, darn.
Let me try to find it.
Damn. Who's this? Like, what is she gonna do?
Girl, I
Here,
done
let me
exited
pause
out
it.
of it, I think.
Okay, here it is. Can I pause this? Pause. I keep asking it to pause. There, finally. Okay. Copyright disclaimer. Here we go. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research.
Oh,
Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
and
And here
that's
we
on
go.
period.
And that's on period. All right. Let's close that out. We're going to play some audio from that. Can you hear it? I received.
Yeah.
I apologize. Done with.
Let's have dinner. Jackie. Ooh, that is not the Jackie. You know it. There's a new girl about to surface. Whoa. You just met her. Damn. Who's this? Like, what is she gonna do to us? You know, this Curtis didn't say not a goddamn thing. Maybe he already knows, Jackie. We just getting introduced. Exactly.
I've apologized to Buffy.
Told you. And I received it and I accepted it.
And don't have to worry about me saying much more.
That's fine. I'm disappointed in the way you're reacting.
Don't be.
Because that was like
Let that be the last thing you say to me tonight. That's fine.
This
isn't the Jackie that I know. I don't feel that she's showing any compassion. And it's very disappointing.
talk about it anymore.
I think that Jackie is upset that she was put on blast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she was upset about that.
May I say one thing? And my heart is beating real fast because
That's the
I
problem.
get upset when Jackie gets upset. She did not mean it like that. When y'all try to portray Jackie as saying something that she didn't mean, it bothers me to my core. You know why? Because it ain't in her. I compared Dr. Jackie to Dr. Damon, and that's probably one of the greatest compliments I could give anybody. They're great physicians. They're great spouses. They have a sensitive, warm heart. So when next time you do something like this, pull it to the side. Don't do it at the table. Pull it to the side.
So, okay.
And then, but you didn't play the comment she made.
Oh, the next scene is Simone doing couple stuff.
I sent 2 links, but
Oh no, they didn't even come up. That's what it's so weird.
oh
You sent
man,
him in the comment of this
yeah,
live,
in the
right?
chat, yeah.
Yeah, no, the last comment I have is from 21 Janja at 11:12. I don't know what's going on here, and I'm clicking comments. I'm clicking chat. Here, let me see. Um, I'll do a test.
Well, regardless, I do think that they should be able to sweep it under the rug now. I think that Simone should be able to move forward, but I do think that
Yeah.
she feels upset because she feels like Jackie was not wanting her to be honest about how she felt when all that was going on, and she honestly felt that woman's pains. So,
Well, I think that was separate though from what she blamed. What Simone said she was mad at Jackie for was because Jackie didn't have her back against Heavenly or something with the Cecil drama.
oh yeah,
So that's weird. That's suspicious.
it was weird. Heavenly, I really don't like that she did that.
Heavenly didn't have anything to do with that whole transpiration of the transpiring.
Well, Heavenly was commenting on him not having a job and whatnot, and
She only did that after he said something. She doesn't respond to men. She only said something after he said something.
what did he say?
Then let's look it up. Let me see.
Yeah,
Let me
because I
see
don't
if I
remember,
can.
but I know
Hey,
I don't remember
Suri,
him saying anything after either.
Hmm?
what did Cecil say to Dr. Heavenly?
I don't see Dr. Heavenly anymore. What do
Yeah,
you
you
want
gotta
me to
type it
message him
in.
to?
You gotta type it in.
uh,
But I do feel like if we're best friends, then that's just what it is. They were actually best friends, so I feel where she's coming from, but I think she might be taking it too far. But I mean, Jackie did go through a lot with her husband on the show, and she did have her back. But who else? So, oh God, what is the other couple name? Okay, the military couple.
Scott and Contessa.
Yes, Scott and Contessa. They have so many issues right now. It's ridiculous. So, last season when she was going out of town and they were arguing about it, that was like kind of weird to me. I felt like I felt like when we talked about real like what is it, Love and Marriage Huntsville. I felt like he was kind of in a wife's position when she went out of town, and you know how usually women are the ones like complaining, oh, you come home from work and you're just complaining, complaining. I've been here with the
Yeah.
kids all day. Like the roles were reversed, and it was like, okay, well, she wasn't really showing any compassion, but I get that she had things she was trying to do. However, it just seemed kind of weird that she was trying to do all of that in another state, and leave him and the kids back home. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so if the roles were reversed, I really do think like if her husband was trying to do that, it might have been a problem. So,
It seemed like that was their setup, though, so he can't complain. If the setup was, I'm going to go out here and represent all of our enterprises, and you're going to do daddy get daycare or
she went
whatever
to
it is that
school.
you're
She
doing it. Oh,
she
you
went to
mean
school.
Contessa? I
Yeah.
thought you went to Love and Marriage Hip Hop, girl. Let me shut up. Okay.
Yeah. She went to school in another state, and they were having problems because she was out of town and not being there to be present with the family. And his complaints were, to me, they were in line with the same complaints anybody would have had in that position. Um, so even though I think
Okay, I
they,
found it.
okay,
Okay. When is this article from? When does it say? July 29th, 2020. Married to Medicine, Heavenly Combines. Chimes, I always forget how to say her name, um, breaks down in tears over ruining her friendship with Dr. Simone.
hmm
It says Dr. Heavenly is desperate to fix her broken relationship with her Married to Medicine co star Dr. Simone. Fans will remember that Heavenly clashed with Simone's husband Cecil after Cecil poked fun at Mariah Huck, ordering Heavenly to pressure wash her house. Heavenly
yeah,
clapped back at Cecil, writing that he needed a job. Simone was infuriated and accused Heavenly of weaponizing something that they had discussed in private.
hmm
The ladies hashed out their beef during this reunion series, but their relationship remained broken. Heavenly recently addressed their battered friendship on YouTube, opening up to Funky Dineva, who noted that she may have disrupted the friendship between Simone and Dr. Jackie. I miss our relationship, and you're right. If I did, I feel sad about it. And I promise to God I'm going to do everything I can to make it right. Because right is right, wrong is wrong. And when I love hard, and I just really do. And Simone was my friend. We spent the night together. I talked to her every day on the phone. I could say I don't care, but I'd be lying. She admitted that she regretted coming for Cecil, and she said she knows she should have put more effort into doing that. And she said she should not have said anything, and she was going to try to fix it. but he did say it first.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't get the whole power washing thing. I mean, when you said it, I remember it. To me, it just didn't seem serious. I guess she took it that way. But yeah, it was a lot to, as far as that incident, I really don't even care that much about it. But I think, like, as far as their friendship went, Simone obviously was just like, okay, so she done diss my husband. You're my best friend. I mean, what's going on. She didn't feel like she got the loyalty she wanted.
Yeah.
And that's that. But
But that's Jackie's position, was that she did not, but she brought that on herself. Whereas Buffy,
she didn't bring it on herself.
no, no, no. Buffy didn't bring it on herself.
No,
When
Simone didn't either. Simone didn't bring that on herself.
but the it's Cecil started that. Cecil started that. Cecil didn't have any. Why is Cecil talking about anything about Dr. Heavenly? Why was he doing that?
Right. The comment,
We should have been addressing that further instead of flipping this all around, that Heavenly said something back and now Simone's mad at Heavenly. We should have checked Simone for not checking her husband in the first place.
I'm sure she did check him. Um, I mean, we don't really know if she checked him or not or what happened, but I
Well, she
just
didn't
don't
check
ever
him in a
think
way that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I didn't gather that it was a malicious comment. I just don't think that Cecil realized how sensitive it was to her. You know what I'm saying? Versus you needing to get a job. I don't think that it was intentional. I think he has not shown himself to be that type of person at any time.
He said it to
So
somebody who's famous for telling people your mama. They're sick mothers, and she still is like your mama.
I I
So she
don't.
was being exactly who she is. I mean, she said she
Cecil
was
was
just
being who
quick.
he is.
No, no, no. Heavenly was being who she was by saying that was a version of your mama by saying you need to get a job. I mean, that was just like a something that somebody who says your mama, they're gonna tell a man that they need to have a job instead of being in my business. They would say that.
Yeah, well, we just wouldn't be friends no more.
Oh, that's too
For
bad.
real.
I'm
I mean, because
sorry.
that's it's a different type of thing. But I mean, I guess she had the right to be offended. You're offended by whatever you're offended by, you know.
Right.
But I mean, obviously, it's gonna make things worse between you and your friend if you do that. And I know that if Simone had responded saying something about her husband, it would have been taken to another level. So I just think, like, if anything, if I would have reached out to my friend, what is going on, and tried to squash it. But whatever happened, happened. That's not even the debate to me. The
Right,
debate is
right.
whether Jackie should have held Simone down better or not.
But there
Um,
was nothing to hold her down for if her husband wouldn't have popped off. And that's was Jackie's position. Jackie said to Simone something of that regard, that like, hey, Cecil kind of said that first.
either, my thing is either way, if you're my best friend, then that's just what it is. If you're my best friend, we eat lunch together every day, we talk every day. You are my best friend, and it's 20 years plus. Okay,
Hmm.
well, sis, it is what it is. So I do think that that loyalty was earned, and it
Yeah.
shouldn't be a question about it. But what has
And I
happened has
think
happened.
you're right. I think you're totally right.
It's happened now, but I'm like, okay, well, now I want Simone to forgive her and move forward.
Right. It's ridiculous right
Yeah.
now, because on the same level, Jackie had every right to expect Simone to have tried to make it that the first, second, and third apology that she gave Buffy were suitable,
So you're
and
gonna have
not
to
bring
find
it
those
up
apologies because I don't
in
remember,
dinner
and
again. And that's why
I'm
she
pretty
made that
good.
comment right there. But that's why she made that comment right there, was because it got brought up again. She said, and I'm not gonna bring it up. That's the last time I'm talking to you about it.
I feel like it was brought up because her apologies kept being so condescending. That's just based off my memory,
Uh-huh.
but
Uh-huh.
I just feel like all of her. apologies were of that nature because she did not like people at requesting an apology from her.
Mm.
And that's why it kept being brought up because it was obvious that she was kind of being insensitive about it. And
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that
yeah,
whole season.
that's what we're gonna have to do. That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to
Yeah,
find those
because
apologies.
that season was just kind of a blur actually anyway.
Yeah,
I didn't really vibe with that cast that season, like that lady that was on there that we're talking about, Buffy.
yeah,
Like, I'm sorry she didn't get to show more of herself
yeah.
in a way that was relatable, you know?
Hmm.
Because she seemed like she could have been interesting, especially like I always love a thick chick and a curvy lady. You know what I'm saying? And she was
Yeah,
like more of a curvy chick, and I always like that. So I was looking forward to her, but she ended up being kind of boring. And
I
I don't know,
liked
another
her
person that was kind of, I don't know, but why didn't she come back? They didn't like
because
her
of all of
either,
that. It was
but
because of
they
all of
didn't
that.
like her.
I don't know. I don't even remember that much either, but I remember liking her. To me, I got Portia vibes, bubbly and chipper, and
No, you
pretty
know
nice
what? Actually, now that you
lifestyle.
mention it, that is true. No wonder Jackie was acting that way. When we go back and watch the season, mark my words, you're going to notice that Buffy used to constantly be like, Jackie, when are we going to have lunch? Jackie,
Hmm.
when are we going to have lunch? Jackie, when are we going to have lunch? I thought we could have had lunch by now. Jackie, it was like really kind of weird.
People do not
And
like happy people.
no, but she was like, it was how she was trying to force her to have lunch.
Hmm.
And but Jackie wasn't vibing on her type of happiness because of whatever. But yeah, watch it. It just was too much. And you know, Jackie's kind of like has her whole own personality. She's not one to shun the new girls, and she's really a peace brokerer,
Hmm.
but she also was like not
Yeah.
receptive to the numerous and I think she even says something about it during the season. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. But in my memory, she says something about it was the number of times and the number of requests that she made to her to have lunch. And like finally, and even at the reunion, she was even like, finally will we have lunch or something like that. It was weird.
Surprisingly, she joined the All About the Tea cast and joined their lives, and she was on team Monique.
Oh no, I saw that and I realized that. I saw that, and it kind of didn't surprise me because, like I said, she had brought it up on the show already. So it was
Hmm.
already public knowledge for everybody in the world to know. So
Hmm.
whether you're not, it's said in a room full of 20 people later by another person who overheard her say it in another location. That was a messed up thing. I'm not saying that it wasn't messed up, but she also apologized a number of times. And it wasn't from a malicious place.
Yeah.
Whereas we already know, I think that Monique was the very malicious in all of
Ooh,
that. But that's a whole
child.
nother hour and a half,
Okay.
girl.
Goodness,
We've
because
been
she
on our
wore
first
us
live
out.
for 2 1 1 2
Oh.
5 6 7. Okay, we're gonna get off soon.
Okay, yeah, because we got to make it through these couples. So Contessa and Scott.
Yeah,
So they're in a weird situation. I think that first of all, everybody is suffering during COVID. It might not be a good time to not only live together but go into business together too.
yeah, yeah. They're
Might not
asking
be
for
a good
trouble.
time. It Yeah,
They are asking for trouble.
seriously.
But that's what she likes, I think. But she
Yeah.
said I think she does this stuff because she's trying to keep it spicy. Look, aggressive. She's trying to be aggressive with him and let him know she
Yeah.
because she wants his attention and she's like, he hasn't changed in 10 years, so she's doing things to physically change to like show him, "Hey, look, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm into. Let's
She looks
change
unhappy.
together." She doesn't look happy. They don't look very like they look
Yeah.
like when they do have sex, it's like they just want to release. It's not to like
Yeah.
they can't keep their hands off each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They look unhappy.
Very unhappy.
It's really sad to be honest. And it's like, okay, one thing I did notice is she doesn't want to talk about their issues, which I kind of understand. But she wants to put all the blame on him. She's not wanting to take any responsibility. And I noticed that Dr. Heavenly and her husband were talking, and he said the biggest issue he had in therapy was the fact that he felt like the doctor was just worried about her, not him.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you
Uh-huh.
caught that. And it seems like whenever I watch these couples go to couples therapy, that's the same thing. Just like on Love and Marriage Huntsville, it's like, so if you're only going to go in there and you're just going to tell the woman, how right she is, and then not ever focus on the other person's side, then you're not actually resolving anything. You're just telling one person in the couple to fold to the other person.
Right. You're right. I think that is that because they pay in the movies, it's because one of the person in the couples pays the therapist to like take their side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't
Is
know.
that
I'm
what
really not
happened?
sure, but I really want to say that I feel like it's almost become somewhat of a normal for people to expect for all a man to need is like a pep talk and a slap on the back, and that's it. And it seems like men are opening up when I watch them on these shows, they're trying to give more emotion, and it's just being overlooked as if, in a way that it's not overlooked when it's a woman. So I don't know. I just feel like it's almost expected. Like, for example, I had a friend who cheated on, well, he's not a friend, but I knew a guy, he cheated on his wife, and he told her everything. And girl, they went to a church and they got uh, couples counseling from the pastor and his wife. And when the pastor's wife and the woman went to the other room, he said the pastor told him, he said, there's nothing wrong with being honest, but you being too honest and you being too real with your wife. And I was like, what?
Oh my God, really?
So yeah, that's what he said. And basically what I got gathered from the conversation was that he was basically just saying, as men, you just have to basically put up a facade to keep your woman happy, happy wife, happy life, and keep that facade up strong and solid, and keep yours quiet. So I mean, nothing. They got nothing from that, and they ended up divorcing. But the real issue, from what I got from him, this is after they divorced, was that he felt like she was not interested in the relationship, in the marriage. She was not interested in bonding more than just being a power couple. And he felt like when he would pursue her sexually, it'll almost be like having to coerce her or damn near rape her, because she was like, he was always having to be the aggressor, and he said he
Yeah.
didn't like having to always have to convince his wife to have sex with him. It made him feel like a
Oh
predator.
my God. You know what? We need to do a relationship series next, Toddy, because
Okay.
I was just saying to my husband today, and like I told you, we've been going out since dirt, girl. We
Mhm.
met in 1996 in
Ooh.
Oakland at Lake Merritt. He was twirling a stick. I was like, "Ooh, look at that chocolate." I was peeping him from across the street, and I was,
Trail with a
if I
stick.
could have had laser beams, he would have had a hole in his ass. I was staring him through and through. From my balcony, I could see it all. And
Ooh.
I was like, "Oh, he is so fine. I wish he would come talk to me." And God sent him over.
Mm, mm, mm.
And I had been praying I had a list and
Ooh.
I had been praying. And he was like literally everything on this list, right?
Mm.
So, anyway, I brought husband up because you're very right. They like to attach on an emotional level,
Mhm.
and it's way deeper than we even know. Like, I'm
Mhm.
still like amazed at the deepness.
Yeah.
So, sex is something that when you connect with somebody, it can't just be the sex.
Mhm.
You have to connect on a deeper level. Like, he's literally my friend.
Mhm.
He's literally my husband. He's literally like, I call him dad because so the kids don't call him, by his first name kind of stuff. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's the kind of relationship he's either husband or dad, or you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so I can get into that type of intimacy, but it doesn't
Yeah.
have anything to do with sex.
Mhm.
We could go. I was just telling, we went from pandemic. I need to write a book called
Okay.
Pandemic. That's how we started. When the whole quarantine happened, I called it Pandemic. I was getting it 3 times a day.
Oh, look at
I
God.
was
I ain't
like,
got nothing.
"Oh, my hip. Oh, my back. Oh, Lord." And I was like, hey. And I was like, baby, just today, Toddy, I told him, I said, baby, who'd have thought? I said, look at us. I said, good thing that sex isn't our only connection because we went from pandemic to pandem. It's been a month.
That is
But we weren't
crazy.
tripping. But we weren't tripping. We did little things in between, but it wasn't like a full
Yeah,
on, you know, shower on my chest or anything. It wasn't like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? It wasn't like a full on, but it was like enough to keep you like, I'm here, you're here.
Hmm.
It was like pets and kisses and what we do. But that's all we
And that's what he said. He said there's nothing outside of that, and he said it's so crazy because they were really slick newlyweds. They'd only been married a year,
oh,
and he was like the energy in the house was so bad, and I'm so big on home energy, but
uh-huh.
he was like it was like we were just strangers, and I realized we didn't have anything in common. We weren't connecting sexually, and the only thing that we had in common was business. And he cheated,
Yeah.
and then he told her he cheated in
Oh
order
wow.
to, yeah, he told her he cheated, and he told her everything, all the
So she could
details.
be gone.
No, he said he thought that it would help her realize, what he needed and help her get it together, but she left. She
Yeah.
left.
Like I said, so she would leave. That's the
Mm.
only thing that was about to happen.
That's not what he thought. I was like, you thought you had a weak woman, huh?
Yeah, that wasn't. She couldn't even stay if she, especially if she was all business.
Hmm.
The bottom line wasn't going to add up.
Yeah.
Why would you stay?
and
Why
and
would
she
you?
was the preacher's daughter, so I expected her to be more
Forgiving.
actually I
Or turn
expected
the
her to
other
be
cheek.
more freaky. Actually,
Uh-huh.
they say the preacher's kids are the freakiest,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
was surprised by that.
that is funny. But who else
But
is a couple on there? Anila. I do not like that they got a full on um Indian lady and
mhm.
got rid of Mariah. Like Mariah
Oh,
was a
oh, I
knockoff
didn't even make
version.
that connection.
Yeah, I don't like. I
Trying
don't.
to
That
fill
was
that
like.
void.
Well, but it wasn't even a void. They like made a void and then inserted this lady who had the nerve, the audacity to come into a black group of women established and say, "I'm black too."
What? I didn't even catch
Uh-uh.
that.
Oh my God, that's why Dr. Heavenly went off on the basketball court about the
Mm,
Black Lives Matter thing was
mm.
because Anila had said in a previous episode that she was black
Mm.
and and was like kind of arguing with them that she was black, but Dr. Heavenly was like, "You're not black." And
Yeah,
it was really bothering Dr. Heavenly because she's not black.
yeah.
And it's like, how dare you? And I took it the same way Heavenly did because that's like and then to have her mother come in and put her hands on Contessa and turn
I didn't
around
like
and
that.
white lady Contessa and be like, "Oh, you abused me because I put my hands on you." That was some old Karen S shit right there.
I didn't like that. First of all, you don't know me, ma'am, and we
Uh-huh.
both grown and we both mothers. Don't put your hands on me. We don't know each
And
other, and
told her
it's the middle of COVID.
and told her, sorry, I'm chewing. And told her all respectful, um, I don't want to snatch away from you, ma'am, but I am
Yeah.
stronger than you. Let go of me. Several times. I did not like that.
I
Keep your
didn't
hands to
either.
your fucking self. Don't
Hmm.
come in here acting like you're black. And don't act like I abuse you. And then don't act like you checked me to Toya later. She's all, oh yeah, I had a talk with Contessa and da 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 da. That was, please. She is not moving right. She's moving very Karen-ish. And like they said, Toya is lonely. She's talking to
Mhm.
everybody at the store. That's where she be meeting people, is at the store between drinks, I guess, because she sent the kids back to school or are they in school? I don't know. But
Mm.
she admitted knowing that she didn't want to be there at the kid with the kids. And they said that Toya would just be talking to everybody out at the store. And I'm like, really, Toya? You on a whole show and you just be going and meeting regular people? Because from what I hear, Anila definitely wants to be on TV and has wanted to be on TV,
Mm.
you know? So, oh, and how, isn't it convenient that you picked a house on the same street as a lady that meets people at the store? Hmm.
Girl, I don't know nothing about that. I do not know. I really,
In my opinion, I just, yeah.
yeah. Hmm. But yeah, it's some stuff going on. They're not really as interesting, but I'm just gonna say that the shows are struggling because of COVID.
Yeah, I think they are. I think at least this show, Married to Medicine, is at
Hmm.
least giving us content. I think
Yeah,
they're all establishing storylines within COVID.
it's
I
true.
think them being doctors, it's easy to establish their
Hmm.
storylines and keep them going
Yeah,
because they're essential workers and they're on the front lines of everything that's going on. And I think that um, unlike Real Housewives of Atlanta, where they have to rely on a lunch or a shopping spree or an event in order to, excuse me, in order to appear glamorous, these doctors get to just go live their life. And that's part of why, that's what I don't like on Married to Medicine, too. How is it that the married to's the medicines, as in the Toyas, the Anilas, the Carrie, do you believe Carrie and Lisa Nicole are freaking back? I'm
I
like,
was surprised, and I'm just like, Toya's desperate to have somebody.
desperate to have somebody to cling on to because they
Yeah,
kicked Mariah off the show and Quad is not checking for her. And it's like, you know what? She's just desperate. Carrie, really?
yeah,
I'm kind of tired of them bringing on token white people to black shows when it
yeah.
takes decades before they bring a black person onto the white shows. That's all I just, why do we always have to, why? I don't understand. Why can't we have a decade of all black and then, oh yeah, add a white person the way they just finally did on Beverly Hills? Why does it have to be like from Jump Street and then try again in 2 years and then try again in 3 years? You know what I mean? Whenever it's our cast, I don't understand that. We can carry an ensemble cast, obviously. We can do it, you
Toya just
know?
needed somebody to be there. That's all. She just needed
Well,
somebody to come
and
and
then how
join her
she
parade.
said, Toya said, Dr. Heavenly pointed that out, that Toya said, oh, yeah, Lisa Nicole was pushed out of the group. And Dr. Heavenly said, the only person who pushed you out of the group was Toya, the lady whose house you're sitting in right now. She the one that told everybody that your husband was that with the man. She the
Hmm.
one that said that. Toya was the one that brought that rumor to everybody, you know? But they made it seem like it was Dr. Heavenly,
Mm.
but it wasn't. And here we go with some more editing. So I don't know. We didn't get to a lot of the other points. I liked our talk, our free flow. I
Yeah.
enjoyed our guest 21 Jonja while she was here,
Yes.
Zyborth Anderson style,
Yes. Yes.
and Toddy Vision. This has
Mm.
been a fabulous first live. We're gonna get it together even further. Next time we'll
Right.
be
Look,
able
we're
to
gonna have
like
to get
insert
some
pictures
outlines.
or whatever. Yeah, outlines will definitely help. This was kind of like a you want to do it? Yeah, let's do it,
Yeah,
and that's how you got to do life sometimes. You can't
that's true.
you don't always, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
You have to do life like this. Spontaneity is essential in life.
Yes.
So, I
And
really appreciate
hopefully
you
I'll be
coming
moving
on here
up
with
there
me.
to the West Coast.
I
I
know.
love
I
it
was
up
looking,
there.
I thought you were on a road trip already.
I I didn't come to the West Coast though.
Oh, oh,
I'm talking
oh.
about moving up there. I'm working on it.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, she doing it. She doing it. That's what I thought the pictures was. I was like, oh, she doing it. She doing it.
No, I'm trying to move though. I'm moving, so I'm getting all my coins together and trying to keep from moving into a bad neighborhood because it's hard online. I
Yeah.
might have to make that trip up there just to see first.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. You should definitely do that and make
Yeah.
it so that you can come through at night on the weekend. That's what they say. But in the COVID,
Okay.
it doesn't really matter. People ain't hanging out like that from, well, at least where I live, nobody hanging out like that. During the COVID, it's not like old Saturday nights 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
for real.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, look, 21 Jonja. Are you ladies anywhere else on social media? Yeah, yeah. Awesome. You can follow me on Larger Curves on all media platforms.
Same here,
Um,
Toddy Vision everywhere.
yeah, Larger Curves everywhere. And sometimes it has a space between larger curves and sometimes it doesn't. That might be the only difference. But LRGA Oh, yeah. However it says it in the chat. It's late. I know it's late and I know you're weary.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a little tired, ladies.
Me
So
too.
this has been great. It's kind of like getting off the phone. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up
I
first. No, you
know.
hang up. That was a good night, 21 Jonja. We appreciate you so much for hanging in there with us.
Yes,
We
good
hope that
night,
it was
girl.
entertaining. Good night. And Toddy Vision, we will talk later. Let's do it on the count of three.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. Thanks
Yeah,
for
come over
tuning
to
in
my channel
tonight.
too.
Yeah, we'll do the next one on your channel.
Okay, sounds like
That'll
a
be
plan.
tight. Yeah, yeah, that'll be tight. Okay. Okay, so on the count of three. One, two, three.
Bye.
Peace.